feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride no
whatever. With Kendrick, there was going to be a last project, something that would come out that would then catapult Drake into his next deal. So here how the music industry works, and this is very important for a lot of people who just sit online and chat shit. It's like basketball. These guys are like restricted free agents, right? You don't let them become a free agent before you negotiate and lock them into another deal. Here's how this also plays. I'll give you a perfect example because we're going to talk about him as well. Remind me to talk about him. Meek Mill. Atlantic knew they were done with Meek Mill before the last album. They realized that they were not going to extend his contract or continue to work with him in the capacity that Atlantic needed to protect or keep an image up about him. Once they knew that they weren't going to offer him what they wanted, they had no incentive to not make him look crazy. And what I mean by look crazy, you know, there's and trust me, chat, keep in mind, you know, and I'm saying this very humbly, even though y'all gonna take it wrong. It's a reason why I've wedged my way into, listen, there's no media personality that could talk shit to me. And there's no other nigga who does anything to talk to. You know why? Because I'm not just a media personality. I've wedged myself into the music business. They all rely on me. So when I'm saying this, I'm also kind of, you know, slightly expose myself or jeopardize myself because it doesn't behoove me to even say certain things that might allow you to see beyond the veil that the music industry puts up. Okay? So the reality is this. If you're ever leaving a label, and I want to make this very clear. If you're ever leaving a label, they're going to try to sign you before you drop your last project. They're going to give you an offer. A lot of these guys, they inflate their value. Oh, okay, I think I'm worth this. I want this amount. No, we're not going to give it to you. Maybe another label's down to give it to you based on what they perceive at the time. When you drop your last album, I could use several examples. Go look back at the last two drops or the last drop with Atlantic with Youngboy. They knew he was leaving. They came to an impasse. He wants masters. They don't want to give him that. They were arguing for months. He brought it to internet multiple times. They were like, all right, fuck it. Let him just drop his project. We don't want to send out an artist hot. Anyway, to get back to like a stupid nigga like Meek Mill, and I love shitting on him because dummies should never be respected. I don't care what your bank account is. Okay? Meek Mill, he asked for a certain amount of money from Atlantic. They laughed him out the building. Number one, they never liked him from the get-go. I talked to people there. I've done mad business with Atlantic. They always said him and his team were assholes. So the people who are pushing pen or like the little pencil pushers and the people who are pushing, they never liked the nigga. So the moment that he started cooling down and he started asking for too much money, overvaluing himself, and they realized that word from the top is that they were going to only offer him this, but he wanted this, fuck him. That's how the music industry works. It's not only for Meek, it's for everybody. Trust me, I hear this. That's why when I'm shitting on Meek, y'all give me credit. It ain't me. The industry kills these niggas. I've been saying I took credit for Meek. Meek was an asshole to people in Atlantic. They couldn't wait to get rid of the nigga. Now, this is not a Meek thing. I'm just trying to show you something. So, that last album he dropped, they were never going to put resources, effort, this and third to make this the biggest thing. It was already written in stone based on the negotiations they were having. Now, granted, if they were going to sign him and he was going to accept whatever terms they did, they're incentivized to make sure he's good. Now, I'm going to relate this to Drake. Allegedly, Drake got one more project, allegedly, or one more deliverable. I don't know if it's necessary, but it was supposed to be this him and Party thing. This is why it's interesting. This is what I'm hearing from Universal. Drake's supposed to deliver this new thing. It was supposed to be out of the deal by the time the new year started. He's been negotiating. Here's what happens. And Drake sped through the contract. Drop. What happens is when you're at your last project, y'all start talking. All right, cool, yo. You don't. It's like contract here. Think about NBA. All right, you playing basketball, you're playing basketball. Sometimes they can be like, yo, I'm too injured to play. When it's contract here, like that last year before you're a free agent, you suck up that injury, you got to play because you want that bigger contract next. So Drake did everything. He pretty much has one more deliverable. He's been talking to them for a while. Talking to them like, yo, I need this. I overdid the 400. I want 6 or I want whatever. I don't know the exact amount. People are floating around 6. I don't know. Cool. And by the way, this goes into why I think that the Party Next Door record that we're expecting, that Drake said was dropping in November, it ain't dropping. First of all, it's November 28th. It's November 28th. Shit ain't coming. Fuck would it come for? Now, here's the interesting thing. Before Drake could drop that and then potentially be a free agent, he's been negotiating. He's been thinking, I'm going to go get a bigger payday, maybe $600 million, right? And that's where, to come back to the timing, some people with UMG say, listen, the building is shutting down in less than 2 weeks. So record labels, essentially every music company, even Spotify, the people who sign off on all these deals, the main decision makers, they're done for the year in 2 weeks. Also, if you don't have an album already scheduled at this point to come out, you can roll the dice, but you're not having a full staff and a full label really working for you because everyone go on vacation. This is vacation time. So Drake, who's been negotiating his deal or trying to figure out the next deal, and remember, that's what I'm saying about this party project. They're going to negotiate it and try to figure it out before you drop your last project. They can't make you become a free agent. He hasn't been able to figure it out yet. I don't know what I'm not privy to that. I don't know if he says, give me 600. They're like, fuck out of here, nigga. We gave you 400 last time. We'll give you 400 again. We don't know. But they haven't agreed. The beef happens, and from what I've been, told, the conversations have severely not gone in Drake's favor. And the re-upping or whatever, it's just not what Drake would think. And essentially, the timing of Drake filing these things is trying to get to it to possibly get to a resolution before the end of the year, before everything shuts down. Everything kind of really pops back up mid-January, right? Now, that would make sense, right? You kind of drop your lawsuit or petition now. I'm guessing maybe they're at a stalemate. Maybe they ain't talk for a month or two. Maybe Universal comes back and says, yo, come on, let's get that out of here. We'll give you a better deal. Agree to this and let's move the fuck on, right? Because again, another thing that's also a miscalculation by a lot of people, the guy in the middle, which is Lucian Grange, which is the CEO of Universal Music Group, they don't give a fuck about Kendrick or Drake. They look at both of them as, I'm not saying him, they look at both of them as, y'all workers. We don't give a fuck about y'all. They don't have like something personal against Drake. But whatever Drake probably wants, they're not going to give. You get what I'm saying? And also, they probably have devalued them a little bit because of this nigga over here based on the battle. So all of the timing, I guess I said all that to explain the timing. The timing allegedly and apparently has kind of culminated to right now because they're trying to do this, that to continue or to figure out whatever they're going to do for Drake's next situation, but to also get this party project out, which is very time sensitive. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. It feels like the atmosphere is that Universal is going to take the hardball stance on this, unless Drake folds. I think this is poker right now. Drake at this moment could say, I fold. And whatever they're offering him or have offered him, right? By the way, going by his own words, $400 million for the last deal. Let's say they offer him $300 million, which is less. And maybe he wanted $600. If he folds, this goes away. And next year, we see Drake just doing all type of shit, and Universal is toe-in-toe with him. You get what I'm saying? But this is, and I've said this to many people, like so many people who don't necessarily cover the music industry or even cover this type of stuff, they've called me. I said, check this out, people. Drake is having his Taylor Swift moment. And I need y'all to understand what that means. Now, I think there's pros and cons for Drake. But I'm going to tell you why it's his Taylor Swift moment. First and foremost, I should point out that when you see even the top of the top, and we're going to call these people influencers, even though Drake's an artist, but you got to remember, when it comes to music business, like, you're basically an influencer, right? Like, you're not the only one. They can replace you. Like, over time, shit cycles out. What never cycles out is the fact that people listen to music, people subscribe to listen to music. That's what they're selling. They're not selling necessarily one artist, because that artist's going to grow old, might die. Who knows? Right? That's the whole point of how the music industry looks at the artist, but then the artists, they're leveraging what they demand at the time. Okay. So, and I think I lost my train of thought slightly here, but hold on. All right. So, Drake is trying to get whatever he could get. And it's more predicated on whatever deal he was working on. The labels, they don't feel no type of way necessarily about it, but they're not just handing out free cash, okay? I made the distinction to you guys before about when a label signs a new artist that's successful, they're making a 20x, 30x multiple off of their investment. If they give Drake $400 million, or let's say they give him $600 million, for them to make a 10x multiple, Drake would have to generate for that contract, which is probably going to be 3 or 4 or 5 albums, probably 3 or 4 albums, $4 billion. Like, just to put that in perspective, that's not a good investment. Universal Music Group reported that Spotify paid them for 2023 for every artist they have. Weeknd, Taylor Swift, Drake, Post Malone, Kendrick, everybody for the year, $2.3 billion. So what I'm trying to say is that whatever investment they're doing with Drake, I know Drake's the biggest rap artist, but it's not incentivized to think that you're going to get that much of a return in terms of 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 10x. They're not 10xing an investment on Drake. So it means you're going to give this guy like $600 million, and he's not going to 10x it. He's probably not going to 5x it. Maybe 2x it. Now, I get it. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, but it does matter because these companies are not publicly traded in the bottom line. So, Drake filed this lawsuit, and again, I do think he could fold. The folding would be whatever they're offering him, which is probably what he don't want, but he got to get down and lay down. Now, I do have some problems with this, and going back to what I said, he's having this Taylor Swift moment. Let me explain that. This is very important. Taylor Swift is the only individual, and we're talking post Michael Jackson, who has gone against the label and successfully won and stayed at the label. And the label was still incentivized to push them. Let me give you 2 examples. And these are not musical examples, but here's the thing. When you have fixed, and I almost want to call it, it's like damn near monopolistic in a sense. I don't know if you guys follow a lot of whether it's legal stuff or you guys follow business stuff. Let me bring in an example. Right now, there's a federal lawsuit. You will see it's been floating around, I believe, U.S. I think it's in the Southern District or maybe Eastern. Live Nation federal lawsuit. Okay. Now, the Department of Justice, they're actually suing Live Nation, saying you guys are a monopoly. Okay, you're violating an antitrust a law that was created, and it's basically saying that it suffocates the competition because it controls everything. Let me explain what that is, right? So monopolistic entities, and I mean, there is times that, like, say, Amazon has faced that. Just listen to me here a second. You'll get it. I'm gonna tell you why this is important. When a company controls because we believe in capitalism, no company should have that much control that there can't be new competitors, and basically they're printing free cash. How does Live Nation do that? Live Nation owns Ticketmaster, which is, hey, if you want to go to a concert, you have to buy tickets. They own the ticketing company. Live Nation controls 80% of the big venues. So if I'm the company that's the touring company, I own the ticketing system, I own the venues, I also own the festivals, and I basically own everything that's around the live musical experience. Am I not? How could you ever beat me? Because now when you say, hey, I want to start up a touring company. Okay, that's cool. You're going against Live Nation. Once I think you're about to like level up, like, by the way, they've been doing this to AG touring, who did stuff with Moneybagg Yo, who did stuff with Rod Wave, Lil Baby, and even Sexy Red. Here's the thing, and I know I'm getting deep into the woods here. I told you a story about Baby. They told Lil Baby, yo, we'll give you, I think, what was the number? I think it was like $500,000 or $600,000 per show. Take it or leave it. Now, I'm trying to show you what a conglomerate, monopolistic entity, and this is why, like, it's banned. Like, you can't just be a monopoly. You have to allow competition, because capitalism is supposed to encourage competition to get the best prices, right? Especially for the consumer. Lil Baby gets offered $500,000, $600,000 by Live Nation. They said, that's all we could pay you. You'll do all arenas. Let's go on tour. An independent company comes around and says, hey, baby, we could pay you $900,000, $300,000 per date more than the other company. Just go with us. We could get these same venues. We're going to book them and whatever. We're going to deal with all the costs. It's good. In reality, Live Nation could pay a Lil Baby $900,000. But because the way how they control the market, Baby don't got no fucking options. So then you get AG and AG actually, how they try to compete against Live Nation. Then it turns to some other shit, right? It turns to, okay, well, if I'm Live Nation, I'm gonna make sure y'all can't get some of my venues, because these venues they book shit out, and if Live Nation's not using them, they will book it to other people. But now you realize somebody's trying to undercut you. You own the venue shit, and then think about this: are you gonna make sure Lil Baby, who didn't do a deal with the company that owns the ticketing company, Ticketmaster, you gonna make sure his shit get promoted on Ticketmaster or not? Hell no, you can't. It's gonna be shadow banned, or it's hard to find them tickets. You know what I'm saying? So it's a monopoly, and that's explicitly banned. Okay, let me bring this back to the music business, and bring this back to essentially like the whole thing with like Drake and what he got going on, right? So Universal Music Group kind of is the same thing. Not as much as Live Nation, but it's the same thing. Universal Music Group owns part of Spotify. They have deals and heavy laden incentives with every company that they need to win. So basically, it turns into a situation where Universal Music Group could just print money. If we could influence Spotify to prioritize our artists over an independent artist, how could an independent artist ever compete with UMG? We're giving them billions of dollars to license our catalog. Also, we gave them a discount, but it meant we own part of their company, and also we have certain type of control. They would never say some random Joe Schmo that never did a deal with anyone is going to get Spotify blanketed approval. No, we own part of Spotify. What the fuck? That person that you're going to give blanket all the playlists with got to be someone who works or someone who's signed to UMG. That's how business is being done at the big level. Okay. And I'm sorry for going to these little tangents, but I got to say this for you guys to understand. Okay? So, when it now comes to Drake, as I said, he's having his Taylor Swift moment. Taylor Swift is the only person that has made UMG get to one knee for her. Or basically say, we were doing this, but now that you said this or you feel this type of way, we'll go this way. I'm going to give you examples how she did that. Taylor Swift's biggest fight in her career is that she felt that she was robbed of her masters. Universal, and there's a whole documentary about this, when they were trying to get Taylor Swift into a multi-album agreement, they promised Taylor Swift, we'll get your masters by hook or by crook. We'll get it from Scooter Braun or whoever. We're going to give it back to you. That's not how they usually operate. Taylor Swift, what she did was that she wrote letters. Look, Taylor Swift, Big Machine, letter. Like she would write these like letters or whatever. Like she wrote on her Tumblr, like, and her fans would fuck with it. Like Taylor Swift literally said, hey, what I'm going to have to do to get around this, I'm going to have to drop my old albums again. And her fans was like, Taylor, we love you. We don't care. Drop it again. Taylor dropped her albums twice, and the second time she dropped it, outsold the first time, even though some of those albums were 10 years old. Why? Her fans love Taylor. Why am I bringing this up? Let's bring it back to Drake. I said Drake is having his Taylor Swift moment. And what I mean by Taylor Swift moment, I'm not saying it's going to be successful. Because Taylor Swift fans rode with Taylor Swift. They made the label say, Taylor, you're right, and we can't go against you and so many people who love your music. We're going to make things right with you, even if we take a loss. When Taylor said, yo, UMG, I need y'all to work out y'all deal with TikTok, based on how big Taylor was, UMG got back in the negotiation room and worked it out. Drake is trying to have the same thing. I don't know if it's going to work because I'm going to tell you why. Number one, Drake's audience is not as big as Taylor Swift. Number two, Drake is not as transparent with his career as Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift used to write that she was victimized. Look, Taylor Swift, stolen. Like she would write like, yo, these guys, if they're taking advantage of me. Like she would literally break it down on how obviously she was getting that Big Machine a lot, which is owned by Scooter Braun. But she would break it down that her fans would be like, no, we love you, Taylor. And this is what it goes back to what I was saying about messaging. Drake just dropped a random petition that's going to lead to a lawsuit. His fans don't even know what's going on. They're like, what's going on? A regular fan doesn't know the business side of this. Like, you're going to listen to Drake or whoever say, oh, no, you're going to get Party Next Door's album when it's ready. That shit's probably done. The business is holding up that album. I guarantee it. I'll put 20,000 on it. That album is done, but it's the Universal bullshit that's holding up that album. Drake isn't that transparent. And that is the thing. Because Taylor Swift is going to tell y'all, hey, when I was young, I signed this deal. I thought I was going to get my this, da-da-da. They robbed me, blah, blah. And her fans rock with her. So that goes into one of the criticisms I have about Drake. We don't know what the fuck you're intending with this. If you're going for a fight, because he looks like he's angling it just by the lawsuits. Looks like you're angling a fight against the labels. But you got to be very honest. Drake has, I think, the best ever audience in terms of hip hop. People have lived. I've lived, some people think, listen, obviously I'm glad Drake's the biggest artist and he's my favorite artist, but I grew up 15 years of my life listening to this nigga's music. 15 years of my life, every song, cataloging, and it was basically being the soundtrack of what I was going through. I'm connected to the music. That's another thing when people mention Kendrick. Kendrick just rapping a bunch of bullshit to me. He's a great rapper, but his music doesn't connect to my life. I started listening to Drake when I was in college. Nigga, I'm in my mid-30s, nigga. That's been my life. You get what I'm saying? So, again, and there's a lot of people like me. So, for the people who be like, oh, why? No, his music is, just like I know people who grew up on Jay-Z, they feel the same. Here's the problem, though. I don't think Drake is as communicative about that type of stuff, right? So, let me explain the Taylor Swift moment, and that's what I'm going to explain how Drake is having his. In every situation that Taylor was disgruntled, she was vocal with her fans. She let her fans know what was going on. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to drop my 5 or 6 old albums again because I was robbed and I was taken advantage of. And her fans believed it and they supported everything she did. With Drake, we've been kept out of the blue. And also, it's a hip-hop thing because rappers usually only brag to you. This is why it's hard to feel bad for rappers. All they do is brag about what they've got, and they don't appeal to the side that you could relate to. You don't see Taylor Swift saying, I'm flying on a jumbo jet with the biggest cars ever, and I've spent $40 million buying this person's jewelry. Like, you don't hear that. Taylor Swift just looks like some country girl, but she got more money than everybody. So she appeals to her fans, and her fans be like, well, if Taylor feels like she's getting taken advantage of, we're getting taken advantage of. We love her. Drake doesn't do that. But I do think he's having his Taylor moment because that moment is going to require not only lawsuits. If he's going to go at UMG, he's going to need for his fan base, his audience, to rally around him. Because here's a reason why. And I'm going to give a bigger story. The current music industry is based on Drake and what he did. And I have one critique. I have another critique I levy against Drake. For as great as we do think, and I do think Drake's a good businessman, I never thought Drake took the chances he needed to prepare for moments like this. I'll explain. Brother, let's get back to 2015, 2016. Do y'all remember when Drake sold 1 million first week? Y'all remember views? I remember slightly before that. If you're reading this is too late. Y'all remember going into More Life. Y'all remember, obviously then we get to Scorpion. Let me tell you one thing that Drake did that if Drake foresaw today ever happening, those conversations would have went differently. I'm going to tell you why. When Drake sat and took a $20 million deal from Apple Music to release his album 1 week before, he rapped about it. I forgot what song. I think, was it Charged Up? Drake, 20 million, Apple Music. He rapped about it on something, right? And I think it came with the 1 week exclusive that he did a radio show, whatever it was, right? Yeah. Oh, Apple Music pays Drake $20 million for the new album. Now, what we're gonna have to realize, and this is as great. Listen, it's my favorite rapper, but I understand why I'm also the biggest and the best when it comes to this media shit. Because I'm gonna have to give it up how I got to give it up. Here's the reality of it, right? So it says Apple. So a report from His Daily Double back in the day said that Apple Music gave Drake $20 million to create views and give it to them for a week, right? A week. Now, it was exclusive to them. Let me explain how that was short-sighted, and that probably helped put Drake in the position he was. Remember I told you why recently I said I'm not interested no more too much in deals. Because I've seen how all this shit goes. When these labels are offering you a big bag, it's because they're getting a big return. I'll give you 2 examples. I even give you an example I'm a part of. Partly, I understand why Joe Budden was wilding out at Spotify, but that's not the way to go if you ask me. You got negotiated in there. When he was like, they gave me, who knows, whatever money they gave him, Spotify initially. But he felt like he was underpaid and they wouldn't pay him what they needed to for this subsequent contract that he probably requested or they were negotiating. I don't know if they did. I knew it when it came to even me with Spotify, right? By the way, everything also it bores true later. You know, I always said that my biggest success with Spotify, I took my first year's paycheck, I threw it all into Spotify stock. I took what they paid me, I bought all Spotify stock. The stock at the time was like 200 and something. During the pandemic, it fell to like 110, 115. That stock now is worth $450. So if you think about it, if I say they paid me $1 million, right? Right? Let's say they paid me that. If I put $1 million in and I never sold, which by the way I did sell, that $1 million 3 years ago, if I waited 4 years after till now, it would be worth $4 million. So it's like they paid me $4 million. So whatever you think they paid me the first year, times it by 4, right? That's would have been the real gain of this. I'm gonna tell you why I'm telling you that information. Because what Drake is now doing, I think is gonna be a little bit. It's gonna fall slightly short and he's gonna maybe try to do what a lot of people do in terms of, hey, I helped build this. Because here's the thing: when Drake got $20 million from Apple Music and Spotify were in a war to the death on who could gain more subscribers to their streaming platform for music. They were doing anything. And they realized the quickest way to get more people to subscribe to Apple Music, which was $10 a month, was to show that certain artists, especially the biggest artists, were only going to drop their music on their platform. And maybe not for the whole time, but exclusively. So I'm pretty sure when Drake took that $20 million, he said, damn, it's $20 million. This is free cash. It's perfect. But what that did is when they did those deals with Drake and The Weeknd, that set up the entire industry. Just give me 1 second. I just want to Google this and show you. So this was Views, right? So Views was 2016, right? 2016. Let's look at this. Apple Music subscribers, 2016. I just want to show you something. So in 2016, right? In 2016, they touted that, I just want to show you this, right? Them and Apple, they were trying to compete with Apple, right? Not Apple, I mean Spotify. In 2016, you're going to see that they basically said they had around like 20 to 30 million. I know it says December, but they never put out the real numbers. It was basically between 20 to 30 million paying subscribers, right? They were gaining ground on Spotify by paying people like Drake 20 million. Spotify said it had 40 million. So let's just say Spotify had 40, Apple Music had 30. Let me show you something now. Spotify paying subscribers 2023. Because Drake even points to that in the contract. Well, really, it's actually way more than this, but whatever. Okay. 236 million. Now, this is a very important part, and this is what I was trying to say. A lot of what Drake is saying now, it would be contextually defined differently if back then, when Drake got the 20 million, he said, nah, I don't want the 20 million. Since y'all are using me to build, remember, at this time, Spotify has 40 million. So 40 times 40 times 4 would be 160. 40 times 5 would be 200. 40 times 6. So they've increased 6x in paying subs, right? Spotify. I know he did deal with Apple, but we're looking at the market. The best thing for Drake to do, remember I told you about the Spotify thing? What they were offering me and how the stock price increased 4x? If Drake had somehow, with the most leverage ever, they needed Drake. They needed Weeknd. They needed these people. If Drake had sat down, brought in UMG, brought in Spotify or Apple and said, hey, listen, we don't have to get down with this. We could just use our leverage with our record labels and say, we're going to drop music in a different way. Since you guys are trying to build streaming, and yes, I'm saying this unequivocally, and this is why I personally feel Drake feels away. Drake built the entire industry of streaming for these bigger conglomerates. Here's the problem. All he did was take the money, and he never took the thing that could possibly have you with some control. Even if Drake says, hey, listen, fuck the money. Just give me, obviously Apple wouldn't give him shit because, Apple Music is not going to, but maybe Spotify would be like, hey, listen, just give me a percentage. Just like how you negotiate with UMG. Well, I'm actually about a fourth of what UMG's bringing in. I'll do a deal with you directly. But I want some piece and some parts of what's going on here. And that's the problem. I'm really telling you that's the problem. So Drake got the jumbo jet. He got the $100 million mesh. He got all the money. But that only matters as long as he's the number one artist that could move the needle. The moment they think you can't move the needle, you don't matter no more. This is why you should have incentivized when you could move the needle to get some real skin in the game. And it's not money. It's power and control. The point is, Drake, while he's gotten, I believe the only artist that's gotten $1 billion off music, didn't utilize his spot in building streaming, in building all these things that he was, by far number one. He didn't utilize that to have the control that later on, which he was eventually going to get to a point where they say, maybe we don't need him as much as we used to. But if you had some power and control, you'd be like, hold on, nigga. Hold on. This is what it's exactly the Michael Jackson Sony play. Drake never did it. Drake took all the cash. He got jumbo jets, buys up everybody's jewelry, fucks every hoe, fucks every nigga bitch, has money just coming out the ass, which is good. We all want money. But what happens is sometimes the industry, and let's go back to Diageo with Diddy before all this happened. Let's go back to, even though that was a much more amicable situation, Bacardi with Jay-Z. It's okay. These companies are cool with paying you $1 billion. But when they think that you can't help their bottom line, or you're not the pendulum switcher no more, they tell you, all right, kick rocks with your $1 billion. Do you get what I'm saying? So when Drake is filing a lawsuit now, and I'm saying he's having his Taylor Swift moment, you know why all these companies bow to Taylor? They know if Taylor says right now, I promise you, if Taylor says right now, I feel like Universal is robbing me, this stream is, yo, she had them reevaluate the price of a stream. You know she did that, right? Taylor Swift streaming payout. She made that a thing. Hold on. She disagreed with it, and then basically, she's going crazy now with it, but Okay. Hold on. You're going to see a bunch of Drake stuff, but look, here's the thing, and this is what I'm saying in Taylor Swift moment. Taylor, in her time at the top, where the labels know you can't piss this woman off. You can't say fuck her. She used her power. You could call it Karen all you want. She used it then. Hey, I don't like this. This looks like it's taking advantage of us. Change it now. And the label know what fight they could fight. They'd like, yeah, we don't want Taylor telling her whole fan base to do some other shit. All right, hold on, Taylor. We gonna make it right. Let me tell you what now is told me about what the label's saying about Drake. They're looking at Drake eating a carrot like, nigga, you can't do to us what Taylor did. First of all, yeah, you got a huge fan base, but what you would really need is culture. Nigga, Kendrick got it right now, so you can't use that against us. Oh, your own music? Well, we could try to dampen that a little bit, but you're not the hottest you've ever been. Universal's looking at Drake to say, nigga, we have the leverage now, buddy. It's in our hands. They don't have it with Taylor. They haven't had it for a long time with Taylor. And Taylor bitches every single time they try to play her. Drake has never said nothing. Why? Because he's always taking the money. He gets the hordes of cash. All right, yo, we're going to build streaming off of your back, Drake. Drake's like, how much money you going to give me? You get 20 here, 20 mil here. You get this mil here. You get this over here. All right, fuck it. Now when they built it to the point, they're like, yeah, bro, it's like 10 years later. We kind of don't need you no more. And I don't think you that lit no more. And also, you got some shit going on with your label. Shit's looking crazy, right? That's my assessment, honestly. Again, Drake's a billionaire. He's a billionaire. But we probably do have to say, did Drake not speak up? If Drake coughed at UMG in 2016, I promise you, if Drake coughed at them, they'd be sucking his dick. 2016. You know why? They needed him. They needed him so much. 2016. 2024? He does drive the market, this and third. But given a couple things, I think we'd be all right. Somebody said, am I a Swiftie? No, I understand business. Only a few people get in a place, in a position where, when you're that person, they'll always pay you. But you also have to think about sometimes what's going to happen when I'm not that guy, or they think that I'm expendable, or they think I'm not as potent as I once was. And what we're seeing by UMG, and I think he probably starts seeing it in the building. Oh, y'all just disrespected me now. I built this. Drake, listen, there's a reason why, until like the Bad Bunnies came around and the motherfucking Taylor Swift, like really, because hip hop was one of the first consumed. Remember hip hop, when streaming kind of really became a thing, hip hop artists broke streaming records every fucking time they dropped. Hip hop was pushing streaming because you got to remember a lot of piracy. Like I keep telling y'all with Taylor Swift now, she sells 3 million. She's not doing 3 million in streams. Hip hop audience stopped buying. They stopped purchasing. Once they found LimeWire and shit like Kazaa, hell no, we're done with this shit. We ain't buying your shit ever again. A reasonable thing that they were down to do was stream. The reason why I told you this about Taylor. You know why Taylor Swift sells 3 million records? Because she could turn in an album 6 months before, and the leak isn't going to fuck up the whole album that she got to make a new album. Let Drake turn in his album 6 months before. Nigga, that shit will be leaked, getting played every single place. He gonna have to make 5 different albums after that. Because hip-hop consumes music differently. So when Taylor drops, she gets her audience, like she's always been in the business of, y'all gotta buy my physical, right? Y'all gotta buy my vinyls, my CDs. The merch is gonna come with that. That's why she sells 3 million, right? Like, if I'm supposed to be honest, Taylor Swift's about roughly about twice as popular as Drake. So Drake's about like 60%, Taylor's 100, right? But if you look at the sales, Drake's last album did 400, Taylor did 3 million. Like, that's 6 times as popular. Is Taylor 6 times as popular? No. She's barely twice as popular. She is popular, more popular. But she's about twice as popular, just by the numbers. But she's dealing with a different audience that will purchase shit. Drake is within hip hop. So what I'm really trying to tell you is that Drake and his counterparts built streaming for the industry because they never relied on Taylor Swift for streaming because Taylor was always still selling. They relied on niggas like Drake. When people stopped buying, they would just stream Drake all day. Drake is still like the highest streaming person, point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? Drake is the number 1 streaming artist, period. Ironically, he's the Joe Budden and the Joe Rogan in terms of Spotify for his podcasts. The point is that he never took the leverage for making shit shake and ultimately was always going to get to a point where they felt like you are no longer the person that we feel we have to just bow and acquiesce to. And I could imagine, I think Drake has probably gotten to a point in the conversation with Universal that they probably offered him something disrespectful, in my opinion. He got 400 last time. Let's say he wants 6. They probably told him, yeah, all right, nigga, you're going to go get 350, buddy. That's what it is. He's like, huh? And I do believe this lawsuit's one of them. Or not lawsuit, let's call it what it is, a petition. So I do have the petition here, the academy.blog, if you guys want to see it in whole. Here is the second lawsuit. So this is a defamation lawsuit. It was filed in Texas. And it was filed in Bexar County. Now, if you don't know what Bexar County is, Bexar County, Texas is actually where iHeart Media. So this second defamation lawsuit was mainly based around iHeart Media. That's why they filed it in the county iHeart Media is based in, which is San Antonio, Texas, which is Bexar County, Texas. So he's suing iHeart Media, or he's planning to sue iHeart Media and UMG. And we're going to read through this in a second. All right, chat? Everybody in here good? Happy Thanksgiving. Let me see how we looking. Give me 1 second. We're going to read through this. Somebody said, no, The Weeknd is the highest. No. We're talking about from the inception of streaming. The inception. So I'm talking about completely. The inception of streaming. What I'm trying to say is that when the industry went through this period where they said we have to convince the audience to now start streaming music, they utilized Drake to build that market. Remember, it was 20 million for Apple Music and like 30 million at least initially for Spotify. They built that 10x. So you have Spotify, which with 250 million paying subscribers. You have Apple Music that supposedly has at least over 150 or maybe close to 200. They built that entity into 10x. So imagine, again, I know we're talking about, like, put it like this, right? All right, let me show you something interesting, right? Spotify payout 2016 UMG. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. Okay, right? So in 2016, Spotify paid out this, right? Okay. Which, by the way, again, this is a year that Drake really doubles down. So actually, let's go to 2015. I want to do 2015 because 2016 we see a massive situation that was going crazy. Hold on Spotify. Okay, I mean we could figure it out by the math here. They said, all right, it's 58% more in 20. I'll give me 1 second. I'm just sure it's the math real quick. No, sure it's the math. All right. Here we go. I'm going to show you math, right? So in 2016, UMG earned, I want to make sure you can see everything. Hold on, chat. Earned 137 million per month, right? Okay, cool. So 137, here we go. 137, we're dealing in millions right here, times 12 is $1.6 billion, okay? $1.6 billion. Now, if they said this was 58% more, right? If this was 58% more means, or 58% more than 2015. If we divide this by 1.58, this is math, people, you'll be able to understand it. They basically earned $1 million, right? 1.04 million. So $1 million in streaming in 2015, right? So that's what Universal was getting, right? Cool. Remember I told you in 2016 they started a push to do, not them necessarily, because Apple Music was doing that too, right? And by the way, this is kind of unfair to say because Apple paid for most of the exclusives, not Spotify. Spotify was, you know, if you list, if you follow business, you'll realize because Apple was they had the biggest market share, they spent less money because the number 2 Apple with more money, they were spending more to try to catch up to Spotify. Spotify was just gaining, right? So I'm hoping you guys are following a bit, but here's the thing. So Spotify, which was bigger than Apple, paid out $1 billion, which means at that time, if we're just going on market share at that time, right? And this is going to be a little bit complicated. Apple Music market share 2015, right? So their market share was what? They had only 13. Even now they only have 13%. Like, yeah. Basically, they couldn't compete. So Apple Music was late to the game. They couldn't fucking compete, right? So just to be very fair and clear, if Spotify paid out $1 billion in 2015, Apple Music probably paid out, I don't know, we're gonna make it up, right? Less than half. So let's just say $400 million. So Spotify paid out $1 billion. Apple Music probably paid out $400 million. They give Drake $20 million. And the next year, their revenue increases. Everybody's revenue increases, but Spotify revenue increases 58%. By the way, Apple, the reason I'm not using Apple's numbers, they don't share it. Apple Music, but they've always been like slightly lesser than Spotify. So if Spotify goes up 58 and they didn't spend nothing, it's based on all Apple Music is spending, right? It's very reasonable to say Apple Music went up at least 58, probably like 75 because they're spending the money. Spotify is not. So here's the point. So we're saying $1 billion from Apple. No, from Spotify in 2015, which means probably around $400 million from Apple. Let's say they jump 75%, right? The next year because of what they spent. They gave Drake $20 million and then they probably then made $1 billion. You get what I'm saying? So they made $600 million more dollars, right? As the years go by and they used and tried to work with The Weeknd, Drake, and all these other guys to really spark the streaming shit, they probably paid out $100 to $150 million in paying the artist directly. But how much more money did they make? So remember, that's 2015. Let's go to, let me go back 1 second. All right, here we go. Spotify payout 2023. Okay, so first of all, they paid out $9 billion. So Spotify paid out $9 billion last year. And to Universal, they paid out $2.28 billion. Okay? So keep in mind, Spotify has not done anything. They have not invested a dime in exclusives or whatever that Apple did. And their revenue in 10 years has more than doubled. It's almost going up like, like 2.5, right? It's at $2.28 billion, which could only tell me that that the revenue similarly for Apple Music has probably gone up. Probably is going to be 1.5 billion, maybe 1.7. Here's the point what I'm trying to tell y'all. If your revenue used to be 400 million for the year, and now it's 1.7 billion 10 years later. I hope y'all, I feel like I know I'm understanding, but I don't know if I'm confusing y'all. So Apple Music and its investments, like giving these artists a little 20 million, which 20 million is a lot of money, but they have increased the market where they could pay out, right? So Apple Music goes from paying out 400 million to 1.7 billion, which is, the difference is 1.3 billion. So even if they spent $100 million or $150 million doing it, they essentially still gained $1.2 billion off that investment. That's the point I'm trying to tell y'all. So when Drake had a lot of that leverage, if he had said, yo, not that and by the way, I'm in no way, shape, or form saying Apple Music was just like, oh no, Drake, we're going to give you like percentage. I'm not saying that, because these companies would probably tell Drake kick rocks, right? But still, if he could have figured out a way to maybe forego some of the cash, but to keep the control and power that comes with building the infrastructure, his conversations today would be very different with those same infrastructures, if you get what I mean. I'll give you another scenario. Different industry, but Howard Stern, when he was the biggest person on radio, when he went to Sirius, right? They gave him a big deal, 100 million or whatever, but apparently he did get some ownership of the company, which means that these days, do anybody talk about Howard Stern? I don't even know what he does. I don't even know what he does, but he has some significant stake with Sirius that they could never treat him like he's a peon. They could never just be like, well, yo, Howard, this ain't 10, 15 years ago. Fuck you. Kick rocks, nigga. We're going to go get the next guy. They can't ever do that. They got to still put respect on his name, right? And I'm pretty sure that 100 million he took back then, they probably would have gave him a little bit more if he didn't have some type of innate control on that situation. And I think that, I hope y'all get what I'm saying. That's the problem with this Drake shit right now. Because Drake, again, I don't think nobody but Taylor could move people that the labels would care. So the labels are looking at Drake to say, yeah, you got a big audience, but, we've done a lot to help create you. It might take a while, but we could create another you. And you don't have the power and control to do or tell your fans or to affect the market that we're hurting. So why the fuck are we going to pay you? Do I get that? Okay, cool. All right. Anyway, let's read this defamation lawsuit. So again, you guys can go to theacademy.blog and go see the whole thing. And essentially what this is a, the first one that was filed in New York court was on a Frozen Moments, but this one is filed directly from him. It actually says Aubrey Drake Graham. This is the petition number, really the docket number. And it's filed in the 225th District Court of Texas, which is Bexar County. Now, here's the thing. It's requesting depositions of iHeartMedia and UMG recordings. And this is how it starts out. It says, Petitioner Aubrey Drake Graham is requesting an order authorizing under Texas rule, blah, 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 pre-suit depositions of the corporate representatives of iHeartMedia. Now, remember, the first lawsuit was saying that Spotify had altered numbers to do it. This lawsuit's a little bit different, but it's kind of crazier than the first. I'm gonna tell you why. He's suing the radio company, saying that he's alleging that his label, UMG, colluded with them and did possibly some illegal things, which payola is illegal, on radio stations that are using FCC airwaves. So he's basically accusing his record label of a crime. The problem with that, and we're going to get to it later, and we don't know if this is true, but let's say if UMG has ever done any of the similar things for Drake, it looks crazy. So you accusing UMG of paying radio stations, if they've ever paid a radio station for your song, you look crazy now, right? And now you also, for me in the media and everybody else, we should love these lawsuits because we're going to figure out the real behind an artist getting popping. We're going to even figure out the real behind Drake getting popping, because if UMG has to respond and if everything comes out publicly, they're going to have to disclose what did they do for Not Like Us. But in their defense, you know what they're going to say? We've done this for everything that's popular over here, including Drake. So that's going to be big and important. We'll see, though. So anyway, so the UMG, which includes Interscope Records, which is owned by UMG. Cool. So let's go through some factual background stuff. It says Respondent UMG is one of the handful of companies that dominate the multi-billion music industry. When it comes to the release of new music by the most prominent artists, UMG is meticulous in its planning and execution of the music it releases, promotes, and backs with considerable financial resources. That is not true just because of the amount of money on the line for UMG and its shareholders, but because UMG executives are eligible to receive incentive bonuses based on the revenue generated from the respective divisions. Now, what he's speaking to here is what I've also heard. And let me give another interesting take, right? And I'm sorry, I know y'all just read through this like a bot, but this is why you tune into me, I would hope. So, chat, I'm speaking to some people at Universal, and they're like, we even read through some of the lawsuits. Some of the shit got some sense, but some of it's a lot of bullshit. Won't say who, but there's some people who feel like Drake's wilding. He's losing it. Like, damn, they're almost bordering on delusionality, according to them. But that's how they're framing it. And I said, how? Like, come on, no. I'm a little bit cynical, but it makes sense to me a bit. I'm negotiating for a deal that's really big, maybe $600 million. Like, y'all don't want to pay $600 million. Y'all want a discount. I'm not giving discounts. I just banged out the last deal that was $400. Fuck that. Let's get to give me the money. Show me the money. Now, the conversation that I had was like, hey, listen, if you think we would intentionally sabotage Drake to build another artist, number one, that's crazy. But let's say sabotage Drake for the purposes of some not trying to give him whatever he wants. Let's explain how UMG works, okay? And his allegations of executives are going to receive incentive bonuses is true, which means if you have an artist that artist performs well that year, the executives are going to get bonuses. That's how their salaries work. So they tell me, they say, this actually disproves what Drake is trying to make as his point. Because here's the reality, and let's break down UMG. Y'all ready? This way everybody get their pen out. And by the way, all the other YouTubers who basically have no idea how this thing works, just copy me or whatever. Y'all could get y'all pen out too. So UMG, let's go to Universal Music Group. Universal Music Group org chart. Let's look at the org chart. This is going to be can we find it? Okay, well, it shows Lucian at the top, but we really want the labels. Okay, bet, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. All right, so you see Big Sir Lucian at the top, okay? So this is going to be the guy, Lucian Grange. He's at the top, right? So you see corporate management and then major business unit and territory leadership, okay? You're going to see a bunch of other people who fall beneath Lucian here. And you're going to see the vice president, controller, or chairman and CEO of UMG Pub. So there's Universal Music Publishing Group, or UMPG actually. You're gonna see general counsel. So that's all their lawyers. So anytime you sue UMG, this is person they're an executive. They handle business affairs. They're to make sure that y'all don't get no money from this company, right? The vice president right here. Hold on, I gotta make sure you can see my mouse. The vice president right here is the chief people and inclusion officer, which I don't know, maybe that's some new shit, but okay. EVP. So this is the executive vice president of UMG. Okay, bet. We see a chairman, and we're gonna see a bunch of people. This is whatever. Now, what is going to be very interesting as we go down this org chart, okay? We're gonna stick to, because on the left side, this is corporate management. They don't deal with artists. They deal with mostly, more mechanical things. Are you suing? Is it like, what about the contracts? What about, you're going to see chief digital officers. They're going to deal with the platforms they're working on. Financial officers, they're just dealing with money. They're not dealing with artists. So we're going to move half the chart away. Okay. Now, the other part of the chart we're going to care about is this other part we just read, which is the major business unit and territory leadership, right? This is where underneath all this, you're going to see all the labels, right? So let's go to it. We read the first line, nothing too crazy that we need to see there, but let's keep going, right? Market development, all right, whatever. Now we're starting to see some interesting people. John Japnik, okay? I want everybody, again, these are people you'll never hear their names unless you're watching my stream, okay? But we're going to get on to this shit. John Janik is the CEO and the chairman of Interscope Geffen. Geffen and Interscope combined at a time. Geffen used to be a separate label, but they all combined. And Interscope used to be ran by Jimmy Iovine, who left for Apple with Dr. Dre when they did the Beats thing. They run Interscope. Now, Kendrick Lamar is actually off of Interscope. He's being distributed through Interscope. The whole TDE is through Interscope. Let me explain to you what UMG is, right? And this is where I might have to get out my handy-dandy notepad. Let's get to I like breaking the shit down in a way that, actually, I'm opening Microsoft Paint. Because this should be seeming very hard to explain, but it's really not. So I'm going to just explain it. Let me see. Here we go. Cool. Sorry, John. What the fuck? Man. All right, here we go. Bet. Cool. All right. So, and this was kind of explained to me. All right. So we have UMG. UMG. Let me get my thingy right. Let's go 20 font. Yeah. Okay. We got UMG. All right. I'll erase. Fuck. All right. Here we go. We got UMG. Right. Now, UMG is a big label. As I said, there's so many parts. There's so many people. But we're going to only think about music. Beneath UMG, when it comes to music that we care for, right? We're not talking about country. We're talking about hip hop mostly, and sometimes I go into pop. The two big labels that are really serving and doing everything are going to be, and from what this is the best explanation. I'm trying to give you layman's terms. It's broken down East and West Coast people, right? So we got on the East Coast, when it comes to rap and more cultural music, some pop stuff, you're going to get a label called, let's start with West Coast. West Coast, you're going to get two labels, Interscope Geffen, right? And also Capital, okay? So, give me a second. So, Interscope Geffen, Capital. They're the big dogs, okay? On the East Coast, so that's West Coast. West Coast, Interscope Geffen. Remember, think about West Coast, Aftermath. Think about Kendrick. Think about everything that is, they get a lot of the West Coast stuff, right? They're more headquartered and based in LA West Coast. Capital, same thing too, right? On the East Coast, or it's not coast really, it's just, let's just say East and West. You're going to get Republic. Who's there? Drakey from Canada, but still East. You're going to get the Post Malones. Where the fuck is Post Malone? I don't even know. Post Malones, The Weeknd, like everything's going to fall there. So really, these are the big two, or the big labels that are bringing in a lot for UMG, right? Now, this is the explanation I got to say what Drake is a legend don't make sense. So I'm trying to explain it to y'all. So if UMG, they're getting, their big labels are Interscope and Geffen and Capitol for the West and Republic for the East, let's get back to this. And I know I feel like I'm a teacher right now. So when we get back to this org chart, you're going to see John Janik. He's a CEO for Interscope and Geffen. Okay? You see some other people here. By the way, you see Michelle, and by the way, she replaced, what's my man? Oh my God, my guy who was leading. He was leading for years. Capitol. So you see CEO of Geffen, right? CEO of Geffen. Nobody cares about the UK. CEO of Geffen, CEO of Capitol. Just like I said, those are the West, right? This is just marketing right here. You know, salute to all my marketing people. Shout out to my boy, man. I love marketing. Okay. Then let's keep going down another line. The other line is gonna have it's right here. So then we get, that's Latin America. We'll put that to the side. Then we get Republic Records. Avery Lippman and Monty Lippman. Okay? They're the founder and CEO of Republic Records. Right? Remember, Republic Records artists. This is what they got. They got all these people. Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj, Weeknd, Post Malone, Drake, Ariana Grande, Liam Payne. Okay? Now, let me tell you why this org chart is very important. Let me make it a little bit smaller. Right? Make it a little bit smaller for y'all to understand. You see this top guy right here? Lucian Grange? Big boss. Everybody's below him. Let's do another Google. How old is Lucian Grange? Lucian Grange is 64 years old. Now, he does have a son that's in his 20s. I think about 30 now. But he went over to Warner, and he's running Atlantic, and he's trying to do all that right now. But eventually, he is going to step down. And who will take his place? Well, let me tell you who's up to take his place. Monty Lippman, the guy who runs the most lit label in the East, Republic, with Drake and them. Or John Janik, who runs Interscope Geffen, that got all the other lit. And by the way, Interscope, you know, I know you might know that for Kendrick and stuff, but let me show you some people who Interscope got. Like Interscope Geffen artists. There's a lot of pop shit that comes through there too. Oh, all these fall underneath it, right? So this is all Interscope Geffen. Aftermath, Dark Room, Dreamville, LVRN. So this is Summer Walker and all them, you know. Shady Records. Let's see if we can just find the artists. We just want to see the artists. Come on. Show the artists. Okay, so these are like the sub-labels type. Let me just look at Interscope artists. Interscope artists. Okay, I don't know if this is going to be current. Because I thought they had like obviously Kendrick, but I just want to show, like I think is, like, wait, who's, what, I'm tripping. No, she's off island. Yeah, she's off island. My bad. Yo, I can't easily find like a whole list of what Interscope and Geffen has, but they got a bunch of people, okay? And it also extends beyond, you know, obviously, so if we're looking Aftermath, some of these are antiquated, but like Eminem, Kendrick, 50 came through there. I'm trying to look for current ones. Of course, Cole, Summer Walker. But I wanted to bring up some pop artists as well because Republic has a lot of pop artists. You get what I'm saying? Like Ariana Grande and shit like that. Anyway, here's the point I'm trying to make to y'all. And this is how it was explained to me. They said this guy's job, who's 64, if his son don't somehow knock it out the park in Atlantic, which is Elliot Grange, the guy who signed 6ix9ine and Trippy. If you don't knock that out of the park with Atlantic or this new Atlantic, which they fired everybody, they're clearing house, they're making a whole new regime over there. If he doesn't knock that out of the park, that eventually he could succeed his dad, and even then they might not want to do that because it's a whole thing. It's like I'm trying to catch y'all up to like just music businesses behind the scenes stuff. Even then, there's conversation that Lucian Grange might not succeed, might not do some, LeBron, Bronny James shit by having his son, by only quitting when his son is ready to rule, because his son is about to start a campaign over at Warner. And remember, UMG and Warner, they're on the same level. And apparently, it's more incentivized that maybe they move company. That's a whole different discussion. Here's the point. John Janik and Monty Littman, they are competitors of who is bringing in the most revenue for Universal. Monty's constantly saying, well, we got Taylor Swift, Weekend dropping this year, we're bringing the most money. And then John Janik is saying, well, we got this person, this person, this person. What was explained to me is that if these two people right here, John Janik and Monty Littman, are in competition for this job, Monty Littman is the person that Drake's music falls underneath. Why would he sabotage his artist to allow John Janik's artist, Kendrick, to look good and gain even way more revenue? But why would he why would he get less revenue for his label to allow his competitor, John Janik? I know they're within the same system, but they're competing for this job. Why would he sabotage Drake or agree to sabotage Drake if we're saying this is on a universal level? Why would he agree to sabotage Drake that they could big up another artist of the person he's competing with for this job? That means he just looks bad. Yo, nigga, you're trash. You're letting Drake, you've sacrificed one of your artists to make your competitor look better for the eventual job of this. That's what I'm told by the people that work in the label structure, okay? And they're saying that doesn't make no sense. Monty Littman would never agree to that. He would never, he's a fierce competitor. He's not going to, and again, I know we have some type of relationship with Drake in terms of we love his music, but they're looking at these people as commodities, right? Like, why the fuck would they be like, oh, let's sacrifice one of our biggest commodities to help you get one of your commodities lit that you could get that job of what I want. So that's what's being explained to me. That's like house of cards for labels, and how everything is going there. We'll see, because again, this guy is competing with this guy for this guy's job, but then this guy's son basically is like Cain and Abel, or whatever one that left the village, went over to the ops, or not ops, but corporate ops, Warner, to run their shit. So he might come back to take his dad's job, or they might just realize that Warner's the new wave where the Grange brand goes along with, and they might get some type of more perceived power. Because here's the thing, Lucian Grange, like, you ever heard about his salary? Look at this. Lucian Grange's salary for 2023, $128 million. It took Drake bragging about all that shit, it took Drake 3 years to complete his deal, and it's still not done. And Drake said he got $400 million. Look what this guy's getting by never talking to us. You get what I'm saying? So, like, and even then, here's the point. They're saying that him and his family might, they're going to see how the Warner shit works, because this $128 million might be nothing compared to, he's only CEO of Universal. Lucian doesn't own Universal. Warner is owned by the I'm saying this wrong. Who owns Warner Music Group? It's Russian or something like that. I can't even say it. It's I can't even say it. Oh my god. Oh, Len Blavatnik. I couldn't even say it. Len Blavatnik. Yeah, Blavatnik. Yeah, okay. And what happens is, I'm giving y'all like mad like extra music insider shit that you should probably not know just as a fan. So the billionaire, this guy, so Universal is owned by a bunch of conglomerates. One of them includes Tencent, which is a Chinese company. Who owns UMG? If you never knew this, I'll tell you. Here are their big shareholders, right? You're going to see the Chinese company Tencent. Tencent. Tencent acquired 10%, hilarious, of Universal Music Group for $3 billion. So really, that Universal Music Group is actually valued at $30 billion. If they acquired 10% for $3 billion, actually 3 billion euros or pounds, I guess. And this is a Chinese company, Tencent, right? So it's owned by a bunch of whatever people. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of companies. Let me see if we could find how it's allocated. Yeah, I know. For some people who are, these are for the thinkers right here. And I know people who watch my stream might be like, "Ak, you're confusing us." Watch my stream if you want to think, okay? And by the way, they got another 10% too. So Tencent actually owns 20% now. So the shareholders for UMG are the big shareholders. Tencent owns 20%. This other company, we could look into them, owns 28%. That's 48. And then Parisian Holding Squares holds 10%. So that's 58% is owned by these companies, and then the rest are like shareholders. You get what I'm saying? So really, what I'm trying to say with the Lucian thing is that Universal is very different than Warner Music Group shareholders. What you'll realize, here we go. Okay. Warner Music Group. Okay. So, it's sold to Access Industries, controlled by land, blah blah blah. I'm trying to figure out who owns what percentage of it. Who owns it today? Here we go. Okay. So here we go, chat. And this is gonna make sense. I'm gonna trust me. I know there's a lot of. I'm gonna make it make sense for y'all. Okay. Here we go, chat. So Warner Music Group. This is anything that's under Atlantic, right? Everything under Atlantic. By the way, you're gonna see this name, Len Blavatnik. This is his, I believe, brother, and then he has a son, which is Val. Val's name is gonna come up pretty soon by me. So Len personally owns 73%, right? So you have one billionaire, one guy who owns Warner, okay? Very different than UMG that's owned by a bunch of companies, okay? So this is why I think the Lucian move is happening, because you're getting paid $130 million a year, but you're only going to be the CEO, right? And you got to, you could kind of fix the rubric that your son, or maybe your son brother, or your son's son always rule, and you keep everybody out, but you don't own the company. Like Lucian doesn't own controlling stock of UMG. When it comes to Warner, which has Atlantic, Len has 73%. Okay? All right. Let me then bring that back down a little bit. Okay. So he owns 73% of that. And then what happens when it comes to this guy, Len, and you could Google these guys, by the way, right? Len is so rich, right? Len Blavatnik is so rich. Warner Music ain't even his main thing. So you know what he does? And this is what every great billionaire does. He lets his son rock out with it. His son name is Val Blavatnik. I met with him before. So this kid right here, his father owns the entire Warner Music Group. Right? His father got mad at other things. So this guy here gets to now do his thing, because everybody's trying to also, you're the father of a billionaire, but you're trying to make your own thing. You guys might not know him, but he used to be a manager. Val Blavatnik, he used to see obviously his dad allowed him to get elected to the Warner. He's on the board. Let's look at this. He used to manage people. Let me see. Val. He was managing, I think, Uzi at a point. Was it Uzi? Like, he's tapped in with the new people. Was it Uzi or who? I forgot what artists. He used to manage a few artists. Hold on. I forgot. He used to manage some of these artists that we cover. I don't know exactly what the name is. Which particular artist. What was explained to me is this, right? Half of the reason, while and you'll hear like Joe Budden and some other people like mention these people, like Julie Greenwald. She used to be an executive at Atlantic, right? She was running Atlantic. They let her go, right? They got rid of her. What's the guy named? Not Lear. Lear's at YouTube. Kevin Lyles. What's the other guy named? Joe always name dropped this nigga till I met that nigga at one time at a Drake concert. What's that nigga name? Kaiser. All these like executives, they fired all of them. Like, y'all niggas kick rocks. Number one, y'all old. Number one, respectfully. Number two, apparently that nigga never got along with none of these people. You know what I mean? Like, because apparently, and this is like super like, this is like some House of Cards shit. I swear. This is what was told to me. They said Julie and Julia, I know you got mad power and mad millions. Don't hurt me. They said that she never respected the son of the nigga who owned her label, which is this young kid. And anytime he would suggest some shit, she would shit on it. Like, yo, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, your father owns the shit. So when basically the father allows his son to run the show, of course he gets rid of her. Get out of here. Like, it was my dad's company. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So that's part of like all of the shit that's happening over at like Warner, like in Atlantic. So he got rid of her, right? He brings in like pretty much people that ain't, the industry rigmarole was usually you go from one job to one job. It's like musical chairs. But now you got the kid who is the billionaire's son, who the billionaire don't care to manage Warner, Len. So he's like, Val, you're my son. You're grown. You could do what you want. He's like, word, Dad? Say less. He's over here firing, doing whatever he wants. He brings in another young nigga, which is Lucian Grange's son, Elliot Grange. Yo, they're in shambles over there. He brings in him. He's like, yo, you're running this shit now, right? Because they're cool, right? All of the old people that used to rock at Atlantic and everything, all fired. They're all out of there. And yeah, and I don't even know why I went down this. Well, actually, I do know why I went down this tangent. For y'all to understand, like, the musical chairs of decisions being made. Because we're constantly talking about shit. Like, we're constantly talking about shit. And y'all are confused. Like, for example, I'm going to give you, this is a story I heard, right? One of the reasons why Shorty would, like Shorty lost her job, allegedly. Or, like, it was kind of, I don't know if she lost her job, but she pressured to leave. Here's what I heard. They said this dude, remember his dad owns the whole label. His dad owns everything Warner. When he was trying to, he's trying to get into the music business, he starts managing people. He listens to SoundCloud rap. He's a young nigga. This is a young white billionaire dude. He listens to SoundCloud rappers. He listens to the Kodaks, the Uzis, the Cardis, okay? He starts managing these artists. But you got to remember, why would you just sign to some random white dude? So he's trying to flex his power a little bit. Apparently some of these, I forgot the name of the artist. I'm pretty sure if I go on his Instagram, I'll probably see him picture with them. I'll do it now. I'm pretty sure if he, yeah. Is this his Instagram? Protege. Yep, that's him right there. That's that boy. All right, he's private. But he used to manage artists, okay? From what I heard, so he convinces a few artists to say, yo, my dad is this. Yo, listen, let me manage you. I'll get you to blah, 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 blah. Then he brings some of these artists and he's trying to get them assigned to Atlantic, right? So when he brings them to Atlantic, remember, his dad owns the whole thing, but at that point, his dad didn't give him like that control that he would need. The executives over there, including Julie, would like he basically was trying to sweeten the pot because he wanted these artists to fuck with him, right? Remember, like you don't want to be as a nepo baby. You're like you want him to sign to you. It's like, yo, okay, no, I'm gonna get you a good deal at Atlantic. So he's bringing these people that he's managing to get a good deal at the label that's owned by the label his father owns. And apparently there was shit on it. Like, yo, nah, we not doing them terms. Because he would come with favorable terms like, yo, I'm going to just, like, fuck it. The nigga's a billionaire. He don't give a fuck about, like, maybe a couple extra 100,000 or a couple M's. He don't give a fuck. He just wants to, you got to be cool with these guys. Yo, yeah, give him a good deal. They will look at it, the executives at Atlantic, and shit on it like, what the fuck? Nigga, we ain't doing that. Fuck out of here, nigga. Yo, stay out of this music business shit. You're the son. That's all good until he gets power. Fired all them bitch ass niggas. Respectfully. All of y'all gotta go. My show now. This is like Empire chat. Got rid of all of them. They're all gone. Yo, Atlantic is being ran by the young niggas now, okay? Somebody said, how I know? Because I talk to people. That's how I fucking know. Everybody, what I'm saying, I've talked to the people that were with the people or who made the decisions. Okay, that's how I motherfucking know. So got rid of all of them. And now that's why Atlantic, Warner, you know what I mean? It's in a very interesting place. So this Blavoknik family, and if y'all want to know what's under Warner Music Group labels, the list of record labels that fall under them are gonna be okay, these. Oh yeah, so they got Asylum, Atlantic, they got 300. So Young Thug is under there now. Young Thug is under there. I actually forgot did QC go there? Did Quality Control go there? I don't know. They bought a bunch of shit though. They bought 300 for $300 million. Right? Yeah, 300. And yeah, they own 300, Asylum, Elektra. Yeah. And basically this one kid who his father is just rolling in dough, but he's now getting to, exercise his rights a little bit. He's shaking shit up over there. Okay, so that's, and then this is where Elliot comes in with 10K projects, which I got to deal with. Yeah, there's a shit ton of like, and by the way, if you go into like Warner Music Nashville, you're going to find a bunch of country artists. So there's a bunch of artists there. You know what I'm saying? The point what I'm trying to say is that there's like ultimate musical chairs happening, right? And that was my little industry spiel for anybody who cares about like this industry drama. Because trust me, I know y'all see I be in rappers business. I be in executive business too. I'm in everybody business. I love to be in everybody business, period. Okay? I'm in everybody business. So essentially, that's what's going on Warner. You got the billionaire son fucking, not fucking shit up, because I think he's going to do a great job. And my man Elliot, son of Lucian, is going to do a great job too. That's my guy. He could call me at any time for help. But on Universal side, they're fighting for this guy's job, Lucian. And it's going to come down to, unless his son comes and does some crazy shit, John versus Monty. Monty got Drake. John got the whole Interscope, catalog and everything, Eminem and all that shit, Aftermath and all that shit. They're competing. It's explained to me, it would make no goddamn sense. Monty Littman would basically sabotage one of his artists to help out this nigga because he's going to make more revenue. He's going to get the bonuses and he's going to look better for whatever this job opens up. So that makes no sense. I hope that I gave the longest, most in-depth breakdown ever. But I hope if you do watch me, that's why you watch me. because I'm going to snitch on everybody in the music industry, okay? I'll come here to tell y'all their business, all right? I'm sorry to say. Feel me? You'll never hear this from nobody else. That in-depth shit I just told you, okay? And by the way, nobody else would also refute it either, okay? Okay, let's get back to the lawsuit. Drake. So, yeah. So, I had to give you that understanding because Drake knows this too, right? Drake knows that the people who are executives are incentivized by bonuses, and his lawyer draws it out here, right? Cool. Earlier this year, one of the artists that UMG has on a contract presented UMG with a song called Not Like Us. Before it approved the release of the song, they knew that the song itself, as well as the accompanying album art and music video, attacked the character of another UMG most prominent artist, Drake, by falsely accusing him of being a sex offender, engaging in pedophilic acts, harboring sex offenders, and committing other criminal sexual acts. Specifically, the song calls Drake a certified pedophile, a predator, and someone whose name should be registered and placed on the neighborhood watch. And I ain't gonna lie, that's funny. Yo, they just quoted the lyrics. It should be registered and placed on a neighborhood watch. Crazy. Okay. Pursuant to his rights under various contracts, UMG has exclusive control over the licensing of Not Like Us and could have refused to release or distribute the song or require the offended material to be edited and / or removed. But UMG chose to do the opposite. They designed, financed, and then executed a plan to turn Not Like Us into a viral mega hit with the intent of using the spectacle of harm to Drake and his businesses to drive consumer hysteria and, of course, massive revenues. The plan succeeded, likely beyond UMG's wildest expectations. UMG released the song Not Like Us on May 4th and the music video on July 4th. UMG relied on its exclusive licensing and in coordination with known and unknown third parties, utilized every tool in the arsenal to spread Not Like Us. UMG made Not Like Us available for radio play, including iHeartMedia, a mass media corporation headquartered in San Antonio, Texas. By the way, this was filed in Bexar County. As I said, what county is San Antonio, Texas in? Bexar County. So that's why this was really more aimed at it's aimed to be in the jurisdiction of the radio station more than it is in UMG. But UMG still connected, right? iHeartMedia boasts that it's the #1 audio media company in the U.S. based on consumer research. They claim that it reaches 9 out of 10 Americans monthly and has more reach than any other company in the U.S. iHeartMedia owns iHeartRadio, a freemium broadcast, podcast, and streaming company. Now, let me stop for a second real quick. This is why I'm also, again, I'm going to, for the people who said don't criticize Drake, I'm going to levy some more criticism at Drake. How is there not a PR directive with this? Drake, you're suing your label that you're accusing of controlling everything. Then you sue, or you're trying to depose, but promising a lawsuit or seeking discovery and promising a lawsuit for Spotify. They control the plays. Then you're seeking a deposition in promising that you will sue iHeartMedia. Let's break it down. Is anybody from Spotify supposed to playlist your music continually now? Or more? Or maybe just by the mere nature they work for these companies, they're going to do it less. You say iHeartMedia is the most powerful media entity in the world. How do you think their radio DJs and shock jocks and broadcasters are going to report this? iHeartMedia owns Power 105. How do you think they're going to report it? You think they're going to report it like you have a chance, or they're going to say you're salty? That's what I'm confused at, Drake. It's like saying you're suing TMZ, but you let TMZ make the narrative about what you're suing them for. Huh? That's confusing. All of this stuff is reported through UMG's conglomerates and iHeartMedia. Didn't I just show before where Boy Wonder said Complex is owned by UMG? Who owns Complex? You'll see. Commerce Media. You'll see it's something called Network, and Network is owned. So you'll see NTWRK. That's the parent company. In 2024, they acquired Complex from BuzzFeed for $108 million. Now, who owns NTWRK? You're gonna see that their main investors. No, not Complex. Nah. What you're going to see is Universal Music Group somewhere. I forgot where it's at. Look, Network buys Complex with UMG as an investor. If Complex has to report that Drake is suing UMG and Complex is owned by partly UMG, do you think they're going to say, Drake, you're actually making a good point here. You should sue our parent company. Or they're going to say, this salty motherfucker who lost a battle, who's a white boy and a bitch, is now suing the company that owns us. That's my point. Drake should have anticipated this media storm, and the mere fact that he's silent, I do think that's a big misstep on his point, on his behalf. Anyway, let's get back to it. So they're suing iHeartMedia, right? UMG and iHeartMedia have a long-standing symbiotic business relationship where iHeartMedia pays UMG to license and collect royalties for UMG artists' songs over the radio, airplay, and streaming services, demonstrated by the bankruptcy filings in 2018. The amount of money exchanged between them is substantial. In the last quarter of 2023, through its recorded music and music publishing division, they had an ownership interest of more than 60% of 100 songs listed on the Billboard Hot 100 radio charts. Without its business deals, with UMG, iHeart would lose access to the majority of its top radio hits. On the first week of Not Like Us, ranked first on the Billboard, it had 5 million radio airplays impressions, and that's how they kind of quantify radio impact, right? In the first week of Not Like Us, it was played in the week that Not Like Us music video was released. Not Like Us then got 40 million times, 40 million, an additional 40 million times that, right? Or not times that, but impressions, I guess. 4 months later, iHeart Leaderboard reported that Not Like Us was among the top 2 songs with the most plays on iHeart station. Okay? So, in a roundabout way, what they're saying is that iHeart, as a company, media company, needs Universal. Universal took a particular interest to the song based on what they got going on with Drake. And not only did they incentivize Spotify in the first lawsuit, they incentivized the radio in the second lawsuit. Thank you. So, radio was only one of the mediums in which UMG relied to spread Not Like Us. Within a week of its initial release, it broke the record for the most streamed song, and blah, blah, blah. Cool. The record-shattering spread of Not Like Us on streaming, sales, and radio play was deliberate. It appears to have relied upon irregular and inappropriate business practices. According to one source known to the petitioner, UMG made covert payments to a number of platforms, including radio stations. Now, that's illegal. Now, pay for play, that's illegal. To play and promote Not Like Us, that's actually a crime. Payola, that would be a crime. Without disclosing these payments to listeners. This practice, known as payola, is prohibited by the Communications Act of 1934 and has been a subject of regulatory scrutiny. In 2006, they agreed to pay $12 million in a settlement with the New York Attorney General following an investigation involving accusation that UMG executives have used a broad array of pay-for-play tactics to secure radio airplay for music. Separately, in 2005, UMG was sued by 2 radio promotion companies alleging fraudulent pay-for-play practices. Petitioner has learned of at least one UMG employee making payments to an independent radio promoter who had agreed to transfer those payments to a certain radio station or radio station employees. These radio stations subsequently played Not Like Us, and to petitioner's knowledge, did so without disclosing to their listeners that they've been paid to do so. Petitioner has been unable to confirm whether any iHeart stations were among the stations paid a part of the UMG pay-to-play scheme, or whether they were direct payments from UMG to promote it or not. Given the status as the number one audio company in the country, they believe that they engage in similar tactics to drive radio play to not like us. Okay, so what Drake is doing here, and this is going to be a little bit controversial, he's kind of being a whistleblower to payola. Now, the reason why it's going to be controversial is because I think some people are going to make the argument to say, bro, okay, let's say we believe you and that payola existed, and in particular to It's Not Like Us song. Are we supposed to believe that no payola ever existed in regards to Hotline Bling going that viral or that public? This is the very holistic approach that Drake is taking. If we all cheating on a test, but then I call you out for cheating, I better not be cheating, right? This is, I have to imagine that Drake's team, directly or to Drake's knowledge, his team has never engaged in payola or bots. That's what this is telling me. Or else, if I'm these companies, I just expose Drake. Okay, all right, cool. Even though I don't think they would want to go that, because exposing yourself to expose Drake is going to look bad for both of y'all. And, you have a bigger business than what Drake has going on. But this is interesting. Drake found these lawsuits is kind of hanging his hat on, I've never done this. That's what Drake is saying. Now, granted, let me make the distinction, because some of y'all going to be like, man, that's cap. Man, Drake must have had bots at some point. No, hell no. Drake is saying his team directly ain't never bought nothing, ain't never pay no radio promoters. Now, I will also be fair, and this is not Dick Riding or standing. I know a lot of people within digital marketing. I know a lot of people within radio promotion. I know a lot of people within Drake. Again, maybe he's been paid for at a higher level, but Drake's music has never been the thing that people have said, yo, we collected $500,000 for Drake's campaign off of Drake's team. What I mean by his team, his media team, his manager, the person, which I don't know if he has PR, but his PR guy. Like, yeah. And by the way, you know who came out recently to just co-sign this a bit? Funk Flex. Look at this, chat. Funk Flex said, yo, and by the way, I don't know why Flex would do this. Flex says, yo, DJs are supposed to play a song because it's hot. The music industry will blackball me for this, but that's okay. It needs to be said. Saying about Kendrick, he has an amazing song, but pay for play got to stop. Now, here's the interesting part about it. And I'm kind of like torn on this because, okay, cool. I've always, I've acknowledged that there's bots in music, but I've never said one artist does it. I used to say it to Nicki Minaj when Nicki Minaj was accusing Cardi B of payola, or that they were paying blogs, whatever. That's not payola, actually. I guess influencer marketing. I used to say, well, here's a reality. Every label does it. So here's my only thing with this. When anyone tries to call out a system, that the system is pervasive in working for everybody. The major label infrastructure is paying for promotion, is paying for radio play, is paying for playlist play, or for playlist spots. That's how this works. It might be done through intermediaries. By the way, if a label wants to get airplay for their songs, you know what they do? They don't pay the radio station to say, play my song. There's two ways to do it. One way, hey, we have a concert coming up, or he has a tour coming up. We'll pay you to promote the tour. Wink, wink. Play the song, nigga. We're going to give you these ads that you got to run. Hey, coming to Milwaukee on November 17th, we're going to have Lil Ray Ray. He's performing at this arena. Buy your tickets now. He's the hottest thing in town. He just dropped this album, blah, 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 blah. We paid you $500,000 for that. Play our song at least once every 3 hours. Wink, wink. Okay, I'll play it. When they sue, yeah, they never paid us to play music. We just played it voluntarily. You get what I'm saying? That's one finesse. So the second finesse is this. Yo, fuck that. We want to hold these guys accountable because we're going heavy on a campaign, right? Because when you do I'm just paying for promotion of a concert and I hope you play the music because of that, that's up to their discretion. At that point, you can't have a contract that verbally says, play my song twice an hour, every hour between these days and these days. So how do you get to that? Well, you do it through a radio promoter. You get a radio promoter, you give them the money. They know what you want. They're the third party, and the radio promoter goes to the radio and says, hey, check this out. We're going to do the deal with you, but we're going to need these. You're going to have to guarantee us this. And because it's not done directly with the label, you have now evaded the law. Because the law only really monitors the radio. So payola has never went away. It's just gone to radio promotion companies, or labels have had to just say it a little bit different. Oh, we're paying for y'all to promote a pop-up shop. No, we're paying you to play the record, nigga. We ain't pay you $200,000 to promote a fucking concert. The fuck? The nigga not even getting $200,000 for the concert. We paid you $200,000 to spin that record like it's going out of style. Anyway, Funk Flex, I don't know why he's doing this because he works on radio still. He's admitted. Yo, Drake is 100% right. National play. Per song. Drake don't got to pay for play. For pop radio and CHR, what's that? Radio, $350,000 if you want your song played on these platforms. For urban radio, $200,000. Yeah, I've heard this number a lot. $250,000. Now, I don't know if this means on the hour, every hour. I don't know what the frequency is, but for a campaign, a radio promoter is going to take $250,000 to get your song played through a huge region, right? Mix show, which means that the guys who they're like, oh shit, it's Memorial Weekend, we playing. What's the vibes, yo? We gonna hit the Caribbean set, but we gonna throw in a couple hip hop joints. Well, if you want, when they throw in a couple of hip hop joints, it's your joint. Yeah, these are DJs who are just mixing, right? The local DJ, the nigga who might be on the radio maybe once every 2 weeks, but he always in the club. Shit, he'll take. You got a new song. This is what young rappers do. So if you're a new rapper and you want, like, you know that one DJ that be on the radio. Here. And by the way, let me tell you how this makes sense. If you're a local DJ that works at Hot 97 once a month, Hot 97 probably pays you $2,000. That's it. So you're on the radio for 4 hours, or say 3 hours, you get $2,000. $2,000. It's a lot of money still, but still. So for 3 hours, $2,000, right? If you pay that radio DJ $3,000 as an artist, because they have an audience, which is the radio, you pay him $3,000. Remember that DJ has certain free reign to play what they want. Not everything, but certain things. Those few songs they could pick as their discretion, they're going to play your song. That's how they make their money. So they're getting paid $2,000 by the radio station. They charge like 3 or 4 artists $3,000 to $5,000. This is why you see them living pretty good. And by the way, I'm not, this game is great. I hope all these guys keep doing what they're doing. This is why if anything, this is why Drake, people won't get mad at Drake. Yo, Drake, you're fucking up the game. Fucking up the game. This is how some of these niggas feeding their families. Yeah, some of this shit illegal, but hey, this is what it is. This is the finesse. The labels finesse, everybody else finesse. Labels finesse, the radio station niggas finesse. That's what happened, right? Cool. So it's 5 days a week. Yeah, most of those DJs wouldn't be on 5 days a week, or else you get paid a different rate because they're gonna want you to play it 5 days a week. So that's why independent artists don't rise to the top. Yeah. Here's the thing for anybody who's independent. I ain't telling you how to go sell drugs, but if you want to pop off in this game, you got to have $100,000 to invest. Because here's the thing, nobody's gonna do shit for you for free. You want to get on the radio, it's money. There's nobody gonna be like it happens, but very rarely. People are like, oh my God, this shit sounds good. Like, let's fight for this person and get platformed at whatever. No, it's gonna be you using your money to pay a nigga who knows a nigga who has access to the other nigga that makes the list or does the DJing. That's how it goes, right? Says all you is why independent artists don't rise to the top. All you artists know I ain't never take a dime from you. Your manager, your labels. The bomb has no price. Yeah, that's how it goes. It definitely do go like that. I'm surprised that he was just to say it though. Yo, Flex, you wildin', bro. Flex, you wildin', bro. All right, anyway. So cool. So UMG has directed its digital marketing team to use discretional funds provided or reimbursed by UMG to pay unknown third parties to share the Not Like Us songs in the days after they were released. Now, I do have a problem with this slightly. Just because I'm one of them people who like that's the industry that I play in. And granted, I will be very honest, Kendrick's team has never paid me a dime. And I've talked to because I work with the people. Like, I'm mad transparent. Like the niggas who's paid for this is why when y'all tell me, yo, accurate line about the niggas who work for Kendrick, I made millions with. What are you talking about? Matter of fact, they used to work for multiple labels. They only work for Kendrick now. And I would never name them because I fuck with them guys. Like, who cares if they're just on, bro, they're making their money. Let them do their thing. And by the way, you know what they told me? They said, listen, when Kendrick because Kendrick spent money. If you think Kendrick didn't spend money, you're a fucking idiot. There was a directive. They said when the Kendrick promo goes like this. When Act get on stream, if he ever has a weird facial expression to Drake's shit or criticizes Drake or says something that makes, this is during the battle, clip that and send it out to the blogs. You're spending up to $30,000, $40,000 for blogs to repost. So they're pretty much reposting me, except none of it goes to, and I guess they think I have a conglomerate, which I guess I do. Me and all like my chat nigga like associates. So anybody who likes Drake, who I fuck with, no money got spent with us, which is cool. I mean, I get it. Like, I'm not mad. What the fuck? But you know, it happens. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with it. I think there ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, to keep it real, you know, I really think I'd be looking at Drake like, Drake, everybody spends money. You should have spent money. I'm sorry. Like, this is what's going on. So Drake is trying to say, nah, the game ain't fair. And I'm like, bro, this game has been done everywhere. Every artist is doing it. Like, I get it. You were so hot for so long that you've never had to do it. But don't think it was only done to you. Every big song that's came out, there is hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars being spent all over the place. Nigga, I was in Atlantic when they told me, they said, yo, Act, we rather promote music, like I won't even tell you what artists, music like this. They said to buy a Time magazine cover is $500,000. And it doesn't do that much. Everything is a payment, brother. Like, I'm keeping it a bean with y'all. Y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all want to believe like these rappers are pure. This is the business. You think Kendrick is generating, he about to generate $50 to $100 million with Not Like Us. You think this is just because people like it? Of course people like it. And that's another thing I think Drake is, I don't know if his filings are his own opinion. People do like the song. But was money spent? Duh. Should have money on every big song, money spent. Work, him and Rihanna, money was spent. Trust me, Rihanna's label ran it through the roof. Shout out to Rock Nation, nigga. It ran that shit through the roof. That's how it should go, though. It is what it is. Like, you know, so me, I kind of see a nuanced perspective where I'm like, yeah, the Kendrick bot? Of course. In my opinion, of course it was some botting. Is that the only reason the song's hot? Fuck no. People really like it. He did tap in the culture. People like the shit. But I do look at Drake following this and say, yo, this is threatening to blow up what's going on in the industry. Except I'm looking at it to say, bro, maybe you've been hot for too long. You don't understand how everything moves in this situation, because every artist, and I don't want to name their names because I work with them directly. I work with all these guys' team. So, you know, part of this does come across like Drake is blowing the whistle. Like he's like it's a nigga who goes to the local basketball court. Yo, some nigga come through balling, use his own ball, shooting from half court, and be like, and he gets tight. He's like, I'm taking my ball, I'm going home. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Nigga, you was scoring with the same ball too. Yeah, a part of that comes across like that, right? Because everything to anybody in the industry, what Drake is a legend here, none of this is new. Oh, do I think, by the way, I don't think it's UMG. I think Kendrick's team directly paid a bunch of niggas. I know they paid a bunch of niggas. Somebody said, how does this ultimately play out? Does Drake win money? I think no. I think no, because here's this. Before they pay Drake $1, it opens them up to so much of a bigger liability from everybody who could claim this. They have to put all their resources. UMG pays, and from just what I've been estimated, over $100 million in legal fees. They have lawyers on retainers, and they're paying $100 million a year. It's to make sure that if you were a rapper and you made them $50 million by rapping about killing your ops, and then because of one of your diss songs, you get smoked, your family ain't gonna get no money from UMG saying, why'd you promote the song of my son dissing the ops? It's the one that made the ops come kill him. You're responsible for his death. No, we're not. They put a lot of money to make sure these frivolous lawsuits. Oh, your favorite drug addict rapper. Oh my God, I love taking 20 perks. I'm high off the codeine, the promethazine, the Xanny. The Xanny got me lit. Okay, that nigga dies 2 weeks later off an overdose. Their mom is like, oh my God, my son never used to take drugs. I'm suing the company. Why did y'all let my son drop a song about his Xanny, his Xanny addiction? Their lawyers squash all that. Universal's not paying no money to nobody, bro. So that's what I'm saying. If they have avoided lawsuits that could come from, you think FBG Dump Mama could go sue UMG and win? Dirk dropped a song and made millions, and UMG made millions called Shoulda Ducked. Vaughn dropped a song, Took Him to the O. You think she could go with no money from them? Fuck no. You know why? Everybody who ever got their shit split, respectfully, their mamas would be lining up saying, I'm suing the record company because people diss me. No, we don't work like that. You ain't winning nothing. So I don't think Drake gonna win nothing either. I don't care how much lawyers he got. Yeah, Drake's a billionaire. Like, listen, I know we talking about Drake like you're a big dog, but Drake's a billionaire to $1 trillion industry. Come on, bro. Like he's a little piece of the pie. And this would threaten to fuck up the entire game. Now, granted, let me be cynical. I'll be cynical with y'all. If Drake wins here, music is forever changed. Forever changed. Forever changed. Because now, once music gets to a certain level, like, yeah, maybe drill music still happens, or certain lower level music still happens where people are saying, yo, you a bitch, I heard you slept with a transformer, which might be a lie. Yeah, maybe if nobody cares, but once you get to a mid-tier artist, you know what they're going to institute? We got to review your music for factuality. Oh, you said that nigga was a bitch and he got slapped and somebody stuck the gun in his ass? Well, we need to have, before you could say that, I sound good on the record, but we need to be able to prove it, because if they come back around and sue us for defamation or sue us for whatever, we're going to have to pay out, because we had to pay Drake because Kendrick lied that he was a pedophile and he's not a pedophile, and we had to pay Drake $2 billion. So now we got to police y'all niggas. The music industry was changed. So it's either completely changes or they treat Drake like they treat everybody else. Yo, we're going to violate you in court. And then not only we're going, and this is what, I really, I'm hoping at some point, whether to me or somebody, Drake kind of explains this, because I don't think only violating him in court is what UMG's response going to be. You got to, you got to remember, they always said back in the days of the knights and all that type of stuff, when people had castles, when somebody tried to invade your spot, invade your, like, your shit, after you defeat them in war, you cut their head off and you put it on a stake outside of the fucking palace. You know why? You got to send a message to everybody else. Don't come up in this bitch. This is what happens. So Universal got to send a message to Drake. They got to. They can't just, they got to send a message. Hear how this message is going to go. Not only do they want to do it in court, but do you think they want to send, they probably want to send a message by whatever shit he was about to drop with Party? You better drop that on 100gigs.com. You better not try to drop that through us, nigga. We gonna make sure that shit flop. We gonna make sure that shit don't go nowhere. All that perception of you being so hot, we gonna make sure this shit look away now, nigga. We gotta make an example out of you. And by the way, here's the thing. Universal have been making examples out of niggas for a long time. They made an example out of Kanye. They made an example out of 50 Cent. Anytime a nigga think he's too big for their britches, granted, you might argue like, oh no, well, I would argue when 50, put it like this, 50 was the hottest thing smoking from 2002, 2003 to 2005. And in 2005, 2006, the moment he went against Jimmy Iovine and not necessarily even, he didn't even touch Lucian. He didn't even get to Lucian. He got to one of the niggas who was on the list below Lucian. At that point, they said, I hope you got some movie scripts because you're done here, nigga. I hope you got some movie scripts because you're finito. 50 was completely obliterated. They crowned Kanye the new winner. 50 star, like, come on, bruv. You can't fuck with Universal, bruv. Who's done it and won? Except Taylor. That's why I keep saying it's a Taylor Swift moment. Who's done it? Look what they did to Kanye. Remember when Kanye was like, yo, they won't let me buy back. Remember, look. What company owns Universal? Drake going at Universal. He's not even going at Republic. He's going to Universal. What owns Universal? What owns Def Jam? Universal. So Universal owns all these companies. Remember when Kanye was like, yo, they won't let me buy, when he shows the contract, Kanye shows contract, Def Jam. You got to realize, nigga, they boxed that nigga out. Now, granted, he's still selling 120K without that. Right? But then he spiraled all the way into doing some anti-Semitic shit. Then they just dropped him. With cause. But he ain't never went at Universal. Like the parent company. His fight was with Def Jam. They bodied the shit out of Kanye. Kick that nigga out of here. Get out of here, nigga. Go sell some sneakers. Get out of here. Go to Japan. Go get head on a raft. Fuck out of here, nigga. So that's why I'm looking at the Drake thing and I'm like, holy shit. Yo, 50 got fucked up by going at Jimmy Iovine. The game got fucked up by even breathing hard at Jimmy Iovine. And that's Interscope. How the fuck y'all expect to go at big boss, top dog, Lucian? Y'all can't fuck with him. He gonna have y'all niggas being played in Botswana. Y'all niggas can't fuck with. Now, granted, it appears that Drake look like he's down to take on the fight. Here's my biggest problem with that. Remember, as I said, timing. Everybody's reading this as you versus Kendrick. This game ain't got nothing to do with Kendrick. Like, of course, it's his song, but this was... If I'm listening to this, right, Drake been talking to Universal for a year, having all type of problems, running into mad roadblocks. Obviously, when he sees the battle go down the way it did, he's looking at it like, what the fuck? Nah, these niggas was they was trying to help that nigga because they don't fuck with me right now. And that's why we get a lawsuit. But at the end of the day, it don't matter. It's you and Universal. You can't fuck with Universal. We ain't seen nobody do it. Only people I've seen, one in public opinion or even just in contractually, Dave Chappelle, how he won with Comedy Central. He forced Comedy Central to have to give him back his shit. The people were on his side, though. The people said, Netflix, we will not watch that if Dave Chappelle isn't happy. Comedy Central, we don't want it. And then Netflix said, well, we don't want this shit no more then. They had to go make Dave Chappelle happy. Taylor Swift Hey, I might be good with music. If this don't get fixed. Her fans is like, all right, we're Swifties. You heard what she said? All right, fuck it. Let's get her fucking masters. God damn it. Who else? Kanye tried it with Adidas. Nigga, they kicked that nigga so far out the Adidas office. I don't even know if Kanye could spell Adidas right now. They got that nigga the fuck out of here. So Kanye thought he could do it with Adidas because after he left Nike, Adidas looked like they were looking at him like that. Oh my God, it's Kanye. Then he tried it with Adidas and they said, get the fuck out of here, nigga. And they sued that nigga and said, we gonna keep your Yeezys too, nigga. We ain't giving that shit back. Fuck out of here. Bodied Kanye. I'm sorry, Kanye's my guy, but bodied him. They still selling Yeezys. And he's still mad. You can't, you had Diddy over here like, all of that shit with Ciroc thinking he like cause of some Harlem Shake and cause he got the niggas with the Ciroc bottle, he good. He start bucking up in the company, Diageo. They said, are you out of your fucking freak off mind? They got him out the paint. Nigga, they were so tight of him, they got him in a jail cell. Fuck out of here, nigga. Stop playing with us. Ciroc is still selling. We ain't hear nothing about no dip. Oh, Ciroc hasn't been sold since it didn't. Fuck out of here. They got him out the paint. They got that nigga out the paint. So this is what I'm trying to say. Drake having his moment, and the only two people we've seen somewhat successful going against the conglomerate that powered them all these years was Taylor Swift and fucking Dave Chappelle. Kanye kicked to the wayside. Who else? Diddy, they locked his ass up. Jay-Z, Bacardi told that nigga to kick rocks. They did pay him though. But he ran to his other billionaire friends, but he wasn't bucking as people thought he was. He wasn't bucking like Diddy was bucking. Diddy was bucking. Kanye was tweaking. They got them niggas out of here. Shut up. Here's some music. Here's a rapper. Shut up. So that's what I'm saying. Drake having his moment. My only thing I was saying earlier in the stream, Drake should have did it in 2016. He had the most power. He had Infinity Stones because he was making streaming. He helped lay the blueprint for the fucking streaming, for the whole streaming market. It was 20 million back then. It's 250 million now for each company. He helped that shit go 10x. He could have said some shit back then to say, you bitch ass niggas want me to do this? Well, give me a little bit more power. Instead, he said, man, give me some bread. I'm about to get a jumbo jet and give me this. I'm about to go buy Pharrell's chains and I'm going to fuck all y'all niggas hoes and then we're straight. And now they're like, all right, cool. You got the jet. You fucked everybody's bitch and you bought all Pharrell's chains. What's up now? All right, give me more money. No. No. Well, you want a 600? We'll give you this. Fucked up, right? All right, the purpose of UMG's payments to third parties was to inflate artificially the metrics reported relating to Not Like Us to encourage media and some music critics. Oh, shit. Who was getting paid? Music critic commentary. Damn. From what I heard, a few niggas got paid. Some of y'all little K-bot defenders, even y'all media personalities, man. I know some of y'all been starving for a long time. Y'all finally got y'all first check when PG Lang cut that check for y'all. I'm not going to just blast y'all, but this is what I'm trying to say. Yo, listen, take the bag, do what you got to do, even though you're a fraud, but it's all good. But be graceful in it. You know what I mean? Stop acting like this is like some new regime. Brother, if Drake had offered you the same amount or a little bit more, you'd be on his side. Let's just keep it a beat, right? Let's just be very honest, all right? Okay. One whistleblower whose identity is unknown revealed publicly that someone from management paid him thousands of dollars or whatever to achieve 30 million streams. Spotify. Petitioner has received information that UMG also paid a third-party influencers. They're kind of almost mirroring the last lawsuit or the petition. I mean, they funneled payment to iHeart Radio and its radio stations as part of his pay-to-play scheme. And this is where the defamation stuff come in. Petitioner has amassed sufficient enough facts to pursue certain torturous claims against UMG, including but not limited to a claim for defamation. Okay, but currently lacks factual support needed or necessary to determine whether he may bring claims of a civil fraud and racketeering against UMG and its many other unidentified co-conspirators who violated payola laws and accepted illicit payments and other things of value from UMG without disclosure. I will say, I hope Drake has all his ducks in order because, and if you ask me, I'd be shocked if I saw Party Next Door's album drop this year, the collab album, because it can't be in good faith that Universal would be releasing this album. They're not incentivized to want to support it. They kind of want to back up off Drake right now. Like this is legal posturing. We can't just act like this didn't happen. And this tells me then, do I think Drake is just going to drop a collab album in the midst of this? Why? It's going to hurt the way you're perceived. Because now it's in the best interest of iHeart to hurt the perception. This is what, again, Drake is also not doing it. And again, I'm a little disappointed. You got to communicate with the people, bro. Every time you hear an artist complain about their label, 99% of the time it's the artist's fault. These artists are signing these contracts willingly. And when, at whatever, how they feel, if they're on drugs or whatever going on, they want to do something else than the label requires them to do contractually, they start bitching. And the first thing they do, and this is the biggest leverage for all artists when they sign a deal, they go to the fans. Yo, I can't put out no more music. I know y'all want my music, but I can't get it. Yo, the whole $51 million shit with Lil Wayne, he should have never let it get to 51 million. He should have been auditing them. He should have been on top of his business rather than coming up with a huge number for a huge time period that was going to be really hard to figure out. But he was dropping albums and still doing his thing. How did he get people to kind of pressure Birdman and Cash Money? The people. Yo, y'all not getting Carter 5 until you're there holding back Carter 5. They weren't holding back Carter 5. He had to agree to a particular version of Carter 5 going out. From what I heard, they had a version of Carter 5, but Wayne didn't agree to that version going out. Supposedly he had another version. And in them trying to get that version, he leveraged that to basically come to the fans. Yo, they're holding me hostage. They ain't paying me my money. Free me. Free Wayne. Everybody started the Free Wayne campaign. Universal saw it lucrative enough to pay Wayne. Here's my thing with Drake. He's never came to the fans with any of his label gripes or his concerns about contracts or his dealing with labels. Only thing we ever heard Drake say is brag. Yo, they gave me 20 mil here. Yo, I got 400 mil over here. They gave me another this mil over here. So this is new, but this is going to be important if Drake really wants people to get behind this. He kind of has to let people know the nature of his gripe. And I'm telling you, I don't care how great I read this fucking lawsuit or break it down. The artist himself has to tell us, what's your gripe? Because right now, and Kendrick's, great PR team, they're going to spin this as, yo, I told you we fucked up the Canadian. He's suing us now. That's not really what it is. The timing would suggest that, but that's not what it is. So Drake going to have to say some shit. I ain't going to lie to you. Or is it going to keep looking bad? Now, here's the thing, too. What I was thinking about, I was like, well, Drake could probably say, yo, my team did this. I didn't have any knowledge of them doing it. Like, I have handlers and I have a team and they're doing this. I didn't really know too much. But that's the OVO sound label kind of who controls certain shit with me. They're making sure they protect me. That's not me doing that as an artist. And that kind of happens at times. You know, like, think back to anybody watch Mr. Beast? That's Mr. Beast's like excuse. He's like, yo, I ain't suing nobody. That's people who work for me doing, or not suing, but I didn't invest no money in no coin that got rugged. Like, it's just my people who did that. They were doing it on my behalf because they thought it was the best for me, but that's not something I'm personally doing. And then you start to try to separate the person from their actions because you're like, oh, they have a team. You know what I mean? Like, Jay-Z kind of does a good job with it. Like we'll blame certain shit on Rock Nation. We won't say Jay-Z, even though Jay-Z is the boss of Rock Nation. He owns it, right? But we'll say, Rock Nation, but we won't say, we'll be like, oh, we'll even bring up somebody else. Like, oh, that's Desiree Perez. She's the CEO. Who owns Rock Nation? Jay-Z. We don't say that's what Jay-Z's doing. Not in every situation. Some we do, right? Anyway, in the second case, so the first case is Frozen Moments LLC, the one that controls all his copyrights. In the second case, because he asserts defamation, and the defamation would not be viable for Frozen Moments, it would be viable more for him as a person. That's why Drake's name is actually on this directly. So Drake is an individual, domiciled and residing in Washington County, Texas. iHeartMedia is an audio media company incorporated in Delaware and with a primary business place of San Antonio, Texas. iHeartMedia principal executives are located in San Antonio, Texas. And iHeartMedia, through its radio division, operates more than 60 radio stations in Texas, including 9 in San Antonio, 8 in Dallas, 7 in Houston, and they might be served via its registered agent, CT Corporation Systems, at 1999, but in Dallas, Texas. UMG is owned by this company, NV, which is a publicly owned, and it's under the law of the Netherlands, okay? So they do this jurisdiction, and they're requested to pose, and, they want to be able to ask questions. Did you ever get paid to do this? What was the nature of the agreement? Why you played Not Like Us 14,000 times this week? Okay, so they're asking for a deposition, and they want one sent to iHeartMedia. They want one sent to UMG. And again, they want to ask iHeartMedia these questions. They wanted to see financial benefits that they got in exchange of playing the song to spread to billions of listeners. And they want to learn the identities and practices of the direct participants in the pay-to-play scheme, including any intermediaries who may be involved. And in iHeartMedia, they're trying to seek an oral deposition where the corporate representatives have to, investigate the evidence of the UMG conspiracy to increase radio play for the song with financial benefits. Okay. Critical evidence. Okay, cool. So all this, and then these are the lawyers that Drake filed this through. You're gonna see actually Drake's signature here, Aubrey Drake Graham. So, gotta say it's Drake. Somebody signed on his behalf, or this is his signature. Right? Okay. All right, people. So that's the lawsuit. Bigger picture. As I said, bad timing. I'm really wondering why this is the angle. Even if you're having this beef with your label, why about, say, a renegotiation, you wanted more money, they don't want to give it to you. Why do you wrap it around Not Like Us? When, PR wise, and it's going to be, you're going to have to say it in court that you feel that Not Like Us is a song that hurt your either earning potential or it hurts your negotiation potential. And which means that song was super damaging to you. And that's obviously what he's claiming, but it's kind of tough, right? It's kind of tough. Again, very interesting time for this. Not only with the Kendrick stuff, him dropping his project, but like, respectfully, like, Drake's a huge artist, man. Like Like, I see people keep saying Ja Rule. Y'all get off Ja Rule's motherfucking dick, man. Like, I ain't trying to disrespect Ja Rule, but the nigga was popping for 4 years and out of here. Like, Drake been popping for 10, 15. Drake runs 2 genres at once. Rhythmic hip hop, and he runs R&B. Same time. Like, this guy's a different monster. The guy has the highest hip hop tour of all time. And that's my thing about people even trying to say this Ja Rule term. Like, with all due respect to Ja Rule, your favorite rapper never had the highest grossing tour of all time. Drake has that by $100 million. Your favorite rapper's not on that fucking list. Ja Rule's nowhere to be found. Like, Drake's accomplishments in Ja Rule are like so far that to even utter Ja Rule is so disrespectful. Ja Rule never even hit the heights that even I think 50 Cent got to. And 50's never hit the heights that Drake got to. So what the fuck are we talking about? You're talking about a nigga who just basically went up a slope down the block versus a nigga who's on Mount Everest, or we could say is in space. That's another thing about people talking about a potential fall. If Drake is going to ever fall, there's a long way from the top. And we'll see how that presents itself. Because now we have metrics. Drake went on a tour, I think 90 dates, $300 million. If he can't do that again, if that's not a thing, okay, that's a metric you could say that's the fall off. Drake's last album with limited promo, keep in mind, this is during this negotiation period where there's labels not supporting him. And when I mean not supporting, of course they're still doing what they got to do, but this isn't like they just gave him the money. They realized Drake hit a lick on them. You ain't see Drake rush out 4 or 5 albums? Let me tell you how it works in the music business. I could tell you because, and it's my guy, hopefully his team ain't going to feel no way about it. One of the major things that YoungBoy did when he left Atlantic and he went over to Capitol, labels say you could only drop 1 album a year, or sometimes they say a year and a half. Why? If they sign for 5 albums, they want to keep you at least 5 years. That now you might be like, oh, I got to drop more music, but it don't count. Yeah, you get paid if there's a recoup on whatever they gave you, but it don't count against their contract. They have you locked in for 5 years. So YoungBoy dropped 22 projects, and they said 80% of them never counted. Yo, we told you can only drop 1 approved project per year, brother. We didn't tell you to drop 8, but thank you for the 8. And we're gonna send you a little bit more money because we don't use that much money to promote your shit. Cool, but those masters we still own. Yeah. We own those masters because as long as you drop during the contract period, this is how all your projects are owned. You know why they didn't give a fuck? Because now they own so much of his fucking catalog in terms of the percentage of the masters that forever and for always they're gonna be good. They don't give 2 fucks. That's why when YoungBoy was trying to re-sign with Atlantic and he said, yo, don't give me extra $10 million. How about you just give me some of my old masters? They're like, well, the thing about that is you gave us about 20 projects or like really like 18 projects for the free ski. And we just own those just cuz. Why the fuck would we want to give it back to you? Huh? No, we'd rather give you $10 million. Take 10. He's like, no. I don't want the money. Just give me, nah. Take an extra 10 or we're good. So you know what YoungBoy did? He went over to Capitol. You know what his deal was Capitol? They lowered the time. So they understand he's a modern artist. He loves his fans. His fans love when he drops music. He could drop music. I believe it's like 6 months. It's down to 6 months. So every 6 months he could drop an album and it count towards his requirement. Drake, from what I heard, lowered that time as well. Obviously, Drake's been around. Drake's renegotiated mad times. That's another thing people don't realize. But he signed a deal that he could speed through. He didn't have to wait all those years or wait till they recouped. You know why? Drake has printed money. Also, he leveraged the fact that they're eating so much off of his back catalog that dropping frequently helps the back catalog. And by the way, 80 to 85% of Drake's current streams is from albums dropped over 6 years ago. That's another thing. You know what I mean? As we like, and I'm being very fair here. I love Drake. That's my favorite artist. But like, bro, the labels look at him different because, Kendrick will never beat Drake in terms of streams. You know why? It doesn't matter about what Drake puts out now. It don't matter what Kendrick puts out. Kendrick just ain't even that hot. I'm surprised the nigga sold 291. When I mean surprised, I thought he was going to do 500. Clearly he ain't that hot. But here's the thing. Drake don't got to do nothing. He'll beat Kendrick for the rest of his life. I'm going to tell you why. What Drake did from up to, I want to say from 2009 to 2019, that back catalog is beating everybody's ass. He don't got to drop. He's going to be the #1 streamed artist for the foreseeable future in hip hop. Foreseeable future. Without even dropping. So I don't care what Kendrick drops. And that's the thing. Y'all could say Kendrick becomes the hottest rapper. He still won't have the most monthly streams. Not over Drake. Drake's catalog is too good. You have to realize One Dance is still a top 20 stream song every month. One Dance. Always. You get what I'm saying? It's just a song that, like, Drake's catalog is disgustingly amazing for streaming. So Kendrick could compete contemporarily if we're only thinking about new music, but overall, you can't fuck with Drake. He's done too much hits and gave too much big songs that's why the label's also looking at him to say, all right, we just need you to put out more music, because every time you put out more music, yeah, One Dance always streams and Hotline Bling and those songs, but it'll stream a little bit more, but whatever. So that's where their conversation is with Drake, and they're probably also looking at Drake to say, yo, bro, we don't got to give you $600 million. Like, we own more of your projects when you were dropping views, and when you were dropping Nothing Was the Same. You know that, right? So it's a whole thing. Somebody said, eat it all up, pause. Bro, I'm telling you the truth. Bro, what I'm trying to tell you is more music industry game. Y'all keep talking about, yo, I'm not telling you this because I want to make Drake look good. Because I'm also saying something that probably hurts him. Kendrick could kill himself 4 times to come back. His numbers overall as a catalog can't fuck with Drake. He doesn't drop enough, and we don't foresee him drop enough or drop enough big songs to compete. Drake has done that. The way how these companies look at it is not, oh, what you're dropping now. Like, put it like this. Interscope, like, with all due respect, GNX, 291, even though I thought he was going to do more, they're making a killing off Good Kid Mad City. They're going to probably make more this week off Good Kid Mad City than GNX, and GNX is going to sell 10 times more. Why? Because they own more of Good Kid Mad City. That's just the reality of it. So that's what I'm trying to say. We're in a streaming era that Drake helped create, but it's about catalog. So these artists are, and that's what I'm saying, it doesn't help Drake all the way, because they're looking at Drake's new projects and say, yo, bro, you already gave us Hotline Bling and like motherfucking One Dance and these other diamond songs. Like, bro, we don't give a damn that much to give you 600 mil. We'll give you, we want to keep you and shit, but we ain't trying to do the most. We get more money off your old shit. And that's why they probably also allow him to drop quicker, because the more an artist drops, it refreshes their old catalog. So rather than give Drake whatever amount of money and say you got to drop every year, because you got to imagine you got to recoup that money. Let's say 400 million, you got to recoup it. It probably makes sense to say, all right, this is going to be a 4-year contract. We're going to recoup 100 million or hope to recoup 100 million a year. But from what I've heard, Drake, I don't know if there is no limit to it, but this probably is because it's a contract. But Drake could drop frequently. This is why you see Drake drop a project with, he drops Honestly Nevermind and goes right into, yo, I'm doing Her Loss. And right after Her Loss, he's like, yo, For All the Dogs Coming. Theoretically, the label want him to wait. Yo, wait, my nigga. Hold on a second. Because, again, if they're counting they want him to wait because they don't want to count the next one. Not that they want to make money. they don't want to count the next one as an album, because if you speed through a contract, they got to give you another contract. Like, I'll give you the example. Kodak Black, when he gets signed, was it 2017, 2016? Kodak becomes a free agent. You know, sometimes they add an album here, album there, an addendum or something. He becomes a free agent like 2023, 2022. Their first 5 years are on the first label, which owns all. If you last over 5 years, remember I keep saying that rappers are running backs if you watch football. If you could last 5 years, you're lit. So put it like this. If you could even have a contract negotiation after 5 years and you want more money, that means your catalog is worth a lot, which means they got. And this is another thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to give you something super interesting. This is how it works. This is why people don't change labels as much, right? You know, in NBA, they'll have, and I'm using sports to try to, relate to some of you guys here. So, with sports, they're like, yo, if you've stayed at a team for 3 years, that's the only team that could offer you a supermax. And the supermax might be like $60 million extra, but it doesn't go against that team, salary cap, right? So that's why you're seeing players stay with the same team, right? Like, that's incentive, right? Well, there's a bigger incentive to stay with the same label. I'll tell you why. If I signed Kodak Black and I own all of his albums, remember, when you sign a new artist, you own the whole catalog. You own more percentage points. They don't got no leverage. You own the whole shit. When they start re-upping and they're still lit, now they want to own some shit. So you're going to own less. Who could pay that artist more than the label that already owns their shit, making guaranteed millions off of their catalog already? You get what I'm saying? So a new label has to, they would have to come out of pocket with nothing that they have no return. Like, put like this. So say Kodak and Atlantic. Atlantic was probably going to get $2-3 million off Kodak's back catalog no matter what, every year. So if Kodak says y'all want $20 million, all right, if they're spacing out, say, we could give him 20 over 4 years. Okay, every year we're getting $2 million from his back catalog. That's going to be 8. All right, so his new music just has to get us up to recouping the 12. That's if they're thinking about just going even all the way, which they're definitely not. They want to get way more. But they already got 12. They already got like $8 million from the back catalog that's going to be supporting the artist. And also every time he drops, that 8 going to go up, right? So they have more of an incentive to sign an artist that's been with them than a new label who don't own their catalog at all. So that's why you don't see artists switching labels as much. Because the person who's going to offer you usually the most amount of money is the label that your catalog is already there. Now, why did people leave Atlantic? Because Meek's whole catalog is there. YoungBoy's whole catalog is there. Kodak's whole catalog is there. I'll tell you the easy reason. They got cheap. They went public. The executives trying to get $100 million reportedly as bonuses. They went cheap. And Capital, who was going through a regime change as well, they were down to overspend. They said, all right, bet, shit. Y'all ain't about to get, we about to give YoungBoy that 35, 40 million he want. YoungBoy, come over here, nigga. You know what YoungBoy did that same year? That's why I said YoungBoy made $100 million that year. YoungBoy signed for 35 to 40 mil, sold the parts of his his catalog that Atlantic that he had with Atlantic. Remember, Atlantic wouldn't give him more. They wouldn't give him, he was trying to work with them to own more of his shit. He sold that for like 20 to 30 million. I think maybe like 30 million. So add the $30 million deals. So basically 30 and 30, 60, or it's like 35 and 35. It's like 70. And then I forgot what the other 30 came from, but yeah, he did a couple other albums that he did through Atlantic in the waiting period that Atlantic paid him like $5 million per album on. So remember when he was about to leave Atlantic, but then he would just drop like a collab album type shit or some random album, but it would still be on Atlantic. They were paying him $5 million each time. Bang, 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 bang. And then he makes $100 million. That's why. Imagine being YoungBoy. Yo, Nigga, fuck house arrest. Of course I'm taking 3,000 pills and drinking half a gallon of lean. What the fuck you gonna tell me? I'm in $100 million. I'm making this shit. Also, here's the thing with a nigga like Future. Future sold his catalog for $70 million. You know, a lot of people care about his ownership. It's rush shit. You know what Future's saying? Nigga, I'm gonna drop 70 more albums. Future don't age. I know he's 41, but he don't age. He's not saying, oh my God, well, what am I gonna do if I never own Beast Mode and 56 Nights in DS2? Fuck that. Let's go we're gonna make 10 more albums. Give me 70 million. You'll get that. Maybe later in life, I'll buy back or some dumb shit. Or I could do the finesse where I record it over, even though that's not a thing necessary for rappers, but fuck it. Give me that money. I'm about to go get some shit, get some more bitches, and we're going to be good. That's how it works, people. It's the game. Anyway. These are my favorite topics. I was like talking music business shit. Damn. Let me go check my phone, man. Yo, how long I been talking for? 3 hours? My family gonna be like, yo, we're at the dinner, bro. I'm trying to see if they're gonna be okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm cooking, man, but the real food is in the kitchen. I gotta go do that. All right. Yeah, man, we gonna see what's up with Drake. I think I'm hoping, and pause on this. Pause. I'm just hoping Drake ain't shooting his load too quick. Pause. And what I mean by that is that, if I'm Drake, this is what I'm thinking. If I'm Drake, I think Universal lowballed him. Pause. But shit, after this whole thing, bro, I would take that lowball offer because I need them in my corner. Come back next year, drop the best albums, this and third. You know, he's still going to be number one artist, but you need to grind it back up to that. If you want that 600 million, I would have took the 300 million, drop the most undeniable hits in the next like 3 months, and then not 3 months, 2 to 3 years. Granted, obviously he's probably not thinking like that because he's like, yo, damn, why the fuck am I going backwards, not forwards? But yeah, just you want the label on your side. I just don't. I've never seen somebody go against the label and win. I ain't never seen it. Like, these labels really control all the shit, bro. So, shit. I'm hoping he wants to go to war with them now. And ironically, it times with this whole Kendrick shit. Because if not, they're going to cremate that nigga. And again, I love his music too much to not see that shit popping. But, and I still think, as I said, there's a long way to fall for him. But put it like this. Ja Rule went from being one of the most lit to irrelevant. You'll never get Drake to irrelevant. But I think when it comes to Universal, their thing might be like, we'll get Superman to bleed. Oh, yeah, y'all used to use Drake as like it was a verb, right? Like Drake is like, people be like the world star effect. Like Drake, oh shit, you need that stimmy, right? I think their thing might, oh no, we ain't gonna get that nigga to go irrelevant, but we'll get him to bleed. Yeah, Future sell 200, he sell 200. No more 400, buddy. No more 500. You'll never sniff a milli again. I think that's how they're probably looking at it, right? Somebody did ask me, they said, why doesn't Drake go independent? And I do want to tell y'all, man, that independent shit sound good, but y'all really have no idea how much these labels control. They control market share. And here's my prediction, too. If Drake ever went independent, I think Drake would be able to sell how much? I don't think he would do 300. I think he'd be if Kanye did like 100 indie, which is real indie. I'm talking about real indie. So Kanye does 100 real indie. By the way, major Kanye does 400 or at least 300. Let's say 300. Drake, real indie, does 200. Like what you see when Honestly Nevermind, that's what every project's gonna be. if he's true indie. Now, granted, he's gonna make a fucking shit ton off that. But you know, a lot of what Drake is the perception that he is the biggest, right? And the biggest is not like, you know, like he would do Future numbers indie. Future would do like 70, like Future would do Meek numbers independent. Oh, let me get to